The following podcast contains naughty language and ridiculous situations. Listener discretion is advised.
Tonight, the double tap returns, and I'm dying because Monster Zero burped, like just as I was about to start talking. Welcome to fucking Trick or Treat Radio.
Listening to Trick or Treat Radio, starring the Deadites.
Welcome to episode 302 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is a phantasmagorical spin kick straight through the heart of pop culture, navigated by the Deadites. The Deadites are the world's greatest electroshock band. We destroy monsters. We drink booze. We win championship belts. And we have intros in which our frontman dies.
Jeez, we do all that?
Here's hoping.
So on tonight's show, 302, we're you guys over the 300 hangover?
Get your ass in here. We're on the air. Sit down.
Whoa.
For fuck's sake.
Gosh. Mars has got a few words for you, pal.
I can't hear him.
Yeah, you got to put your fucking headphones on.
Yeah, he's not talking anyway.
He's got cigarettes growing out of his ears.
All right, so on tonight's show, we're going to be talking about a flick called Psychokinesis. You guys heard of that flick?
Yes.
Good, because you all should have watched it. But
Did you watch it?
There?
Aries is here.
I'm here.
Huh.
Can you hear me?
Jeez. I can't hear you.
And the film is directed by Yeon Sang-ho, the director of Train to Busan. So we're going to be discussing that. And then later on, we're going to do a double tap. We haven't done a double tap segment in a while. And if you are not familiar, basically what we do is we tell you two things that we've been digging. Could be something new, could be something old, could be something fresh.
Borrowed, could be something blue.
If it's your balls, yes. But I ain't double tapping those. So
Come on. After the show, I'll slip you a 20. Come on.
maybe two taps and a twist. So we're also going to do that.
His balls being blue would be a total eclipse of the heart.
And we invite you guys, if you're listening to the live show, we invite you to send in your double taps. Just keep them brief, maybe under 3 minutes or so. And just tell us two things you've been digging, whether it's a movie, a TV series, an album, a comic book, a book, anything. Any form of media, really. Or it could even just be a video, like a YouTube video you've been digging, like MZ was talking about that Superman thing last week.
Mm-hmm.
The 48-minute long.
Did any of you guys watch that?
Fuck no.
I saw the movie. I've seen it.
I'd rather watch a 2.5 hour version, right?
So if anyone out there is listening live, you want to get that in, there is still some time. Go ahead, send a voice message or an email, podcast@trickortreatradio.com, and we'll play it on the air. And that's pretty much what we got going on for this show this week. I guess maybe we'll do some...
Hey, Monster Zero.
Mm-hmm.
Was that review in the Champions Carnival for All Japan? Because if not, I haven't watched it. Because literally all I've watched for like 60 days, it seems like, is Champions Carnival for All Japan.
What are you talking about? I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, Superman.
I don't think okay.
Post.
Oh,
Yeah.
the Superman. What about it?
Perfect.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
think
fine.
anyone knows what you're talking about, Mars, except for me.
It's fine. I can't hear anybody over there at all anyway. So
Oh, wow.
Well, it's probably better for you then.
No, actually, It's better for us.
I can hear you, Wolfie, but I can't hear the rest of them. I just hear bzzz.
Bambaleo.
That's because of the air conditioner.
I don't want to hear Michael Ravenchatter right now.
Why?
Is that better?
Because you leave 10 minutes after we're supposed to start doing the podcast every time.
Yeah.
Every time. No one cares how you look.
He does.
Yeah.
They want you to watch them. They want you to watch the movies
Did it.
and pronounce words properly. Like one of those we know you'll never do. But like if you watch the movie, they don't care. You could wear you could be dressed like Alice from the titular diner TV show Alice. they wouldn't care one bit.
Well, kiss my
Yeah.
grits.
No, yeah, but I mean, figure this. You're the farthest back away from the camera. On top of that, Wolfie covers you with his big fat dome about 30% of the time.
Yeah, good.
It is true.
For
Not that his
the-
dome is fat.
For the listeners. It's for the listeners.
Yeah. That's nice.
Well, Raven Shadow could move over a little bit.
I could if Ares' fucking table feature.
Aries god of TV tables.
Yeah, he's got a waterfall now. He's got like
A waterfall?
Yeah, he's got a whole feature over here.
Pretty soon he's going to have one of those big glass balls that has the electricity shooting
Yeah,
out of it,
yeah.
you know?
I was just going to go with a lava lamp.
Ooh.
Nothing wrong with that.
So, Raven Shadow, you want to do some intros?
Sure.
All right. Jesus Christ, your new phone's loud, MZ.
Yeah, I got to turn down the vibration on it.
Is that
On
when it's
high
in your
vibration.
pocket?
Yes, it is.
All right, well, I am Johnny Wolfenstein, the pencil pusher and producer of media for Trick or Treat Radio, the Deadites, the Grand Guignol Network, and also one of the co-hosts of the Outside Corner Fantasy Baseball podcast and a co-host of the Five Hossman Wrestling podcast. And as Mars was referring to earlier, we're going to be talking about All Japan Pro Wrestling's Champions Carnival round-robin tournament on the next episode, which we're recording in a few days. Speaking of the Five Hossman, one of my co-hosts on the show, and the immortal gunslinger, singer and lyricist for the Deadites, Dynamo Mars. Somewhere.
I think. Did you just do my intro?
I did, yeah.
Hi. Hello.
Why you having such trouble hearing?
Because it's just loud. There's just some loud, like I must be, like you said, the air conditioner. Like,
Well,
like
it's off now.
But it's hot like a
In your
motherfucker
pot.
already.
There's like it sounds like it might be my internet is bad, but everything is soft and poppy.
And it's hot, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to end the call and try it again? Sometimes that helps.
Oh, here comes the air conditioner.
Yeah, you could try. We can try.
All right, I'll do it during Raven Chow's intro, so you don't have to hear that.
There you go. The best part.
You guys are real robot-y.
All right, let me call you right back. Hold on.
Okay.
All right, we also have the vulgar guru of horror, star of Blood Pigs, Fetus, and the upcoming Morbid Tales, one-time contributor for Horror Hound magazine, and maybe one day a one-time filmmaker, Monster Zero.
Aspirations are getting there. I've been thinking about it for some time now, and I might actually pull the plug on this one.
Pull the plug.
Well, wait, no, I don't want to pull the plug
I
on
don't
it.
know if
No,
that's the right word.
pull the trigger is what I
There
will
you
say.
go.
Not the plug, but the trigger.
You can't pull the plug if you haven't even started.
I know, right?
That movie didn't work out.
Yeah.
Did you write a script? Nah.
Yeah, I've been giving it some thought. I've been having some ideas rolling around in my head, and just trying to think of something to make it work all together in one.
You've had like a bunch of
story.
ideas over the years.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking about
Yeah.
using those ideas. Oh, he's back, and we're thinking about. You came back too soon, and we're thinking. I'm thinking about putting those ideas all into one story. It's going to be right now. I'm looking at it be pretty
An
crazy.
anthology?
Well, you never know. I'm looking at something crazy, something violent, something offensive. You know, because
Big surprise.
Please do not do the fucking hook through the JJ mouth idea that you were so excited about last time you were going to make a movie. Don't do that.
What?
Oh, how about the one where the guy goes back in time?
Yeah, don't do that. one.
no, I'm not. No, it's not going to be that. It's not going to be that. It's not going to be that. Jesus, it's not going to be that.
Who are you going to write this film with?
Well, I was
Himself,
thinking about picking your brain
Yeah,
Mars.
you can. I'll help you with anything you want.
because you begged me.
He didn't beg you. He offered.
No,
throw you a bone,
I know
kid.
he offered. He offered, and I appreciate that, and I just might go along with that process. So.
And I mean, not to sound like you 2 years ago, but I'm super busy, so like that's a very generous offer. Like, so I will move my.
You should be fucking honored, MZ.
Yeah, I know, right? Believe me, the pleasure is all yours.
Well, he couldn't do anything because he was busy. Remember, he was very
I'm always
busy.
busy.
Yeah, he's always.
But
I'm busy
yeah,
now.
but yeah, no, I will just so you can fucking get on the horse and realize how fucking great it feels to like I don't know. It's like giving birth. Like how great it fucking feels to like see something you made come to fruition. Like, you know what? Sometimes I walk by the big scary monster, or like I hear, a song that we wrote comes up on shuffle. It's a great fucking feeling. Like 300 episodes of Trick or Treat Radio. Like it's a great feeling. Like I think that you haven't lived unless you felt it once.
Ooh, that should be MZ's tagline for his.
That's the story
for
of my new.
meeting him. Yeah,
That's the title of my new autobiography.
you haven't lived.
Yeah,
until you-
Haven't lived
And I
until
mean,
you
there's-
touched one.
I mean, you'll eventually realize it's like compartmentalized too, like to a degree. Like there are things that I'm only a supporting player on, like, and those feel awesome when they're out, but like not as awesome as something that like I had an idea, I found the people, I made it happen. You know what I mean? Like those are different things. Like you're never like you'll never be your own person if you're always part of somebody else's thing.
Exactly. True.
You know?
Well,
like,
Exactly.
unless
You-
even if
because you'll never get
they-
rich chasing other people's dreams.
Well, you've also
yeah,
been
well,
on,
I don't want to get
You've also been on quite a few sets, MZ.
I have.
right. Yeah.
You know, so
So it's
should have learned a thing or two by now.
Yeah.
Do you want to
For
actually
sure.
direct? Do you want
Yes.
to produce?
Yes.
Okay.
Direct.
yeah, that's exciting to me.
Yeah.
I mean, even Wolfie will tell you like you'll probably have a million things that you'll fail, like or that won't work, but like that's how you learn how to make it.
Yeah,
You know, like
exactly. That's exactly like it's your first movie's. I hate, I'm not gonna say it's gonna suck, but your first movie's not like, you have to learn from it.
Yeah. Yeah.
it could be
obvious.
great. Some people make great debut films, but
Sure.
and
And then they go on to do great or just never hear from them again. But
I mean, it's the sophomore jinx, right? Or what I call the Steve Niles syndrome. Like that guy had Steve Niles, the writer of 30 Days a Night, who I think is a great writer still, had was writing stories for years and years before somebody bought 30 Days a Night, so he had a backlog, right? But then when it came time to kind of shit or get off the pot and start writing new stuff, he had a period of not, I'm sure that he would say not his best stuff because, you have your whole life to write your first movie or your first record or your first song or whatever else, and then, but then you have to write the next one and that's hard. But
yeah, I actually saw. Go ahead, Mars.
no, I was just gonna say somebody said recently, and I might be quoting legendary independent pro wrestler Mike Quackenbush again, but I can't remember. But art is kind of like IKEA, like once you figure out how to like make it, like you have a thing, but like once you get it, like you're like, oh, I want to get a table. And that table comes in a fucking box with like a schematic that looks like it's like NASA drew it up and like all these different parts and everything else. Like once you get your art like on the set, like that's when the rubber hits the road because there's all this shit you never thought of. Even I didn't talk about this, but the first show I kind of produced ever, like where I kind of like didn't just let it go, was the Darkness for Light show. And there was probably about 30 things that happened over the course of that night that I didn't have any idea was going to happen, like that should have happened. It's not like they were surprises. Like when you really get out there is when the rubber hits the road. That's when you learn how to make filmmaking, you don't know how to make the table until you get the table home.
And one thing I saw, it's kind of relevant this week because I saw, you guys know filmmaker Alex Proyas. He directed The Crow, Dark City. Well, anyways, I saw he actually posted 2 days ago on his Facebook account, and it was a pretty inspiring post. He says, "Make your movie, make it now. If you wait for someone to tell you your script is worth making, if your work lives or dies waiting for an official blessing, you'll get nowhere. I can say that after having wasted years waiting for Hollywood to approve my projects, to anoint me with finance. I've watched projects die, perfectly good ones, because we couldn't agree on a budget. Even a project they spent over $20 million on in pre-production, only to decide they didn't want to finish it. How many films could you or I make for $20 million? That is how insane and wasteful Hollywood can be. And yet when you have a script which doesn't fit into the right niche, they will give you nothing. Sad to say, it never gets easier for filmmakers. Doesn't matter what you've made and how much profit you've generated. But right now we can make movies for less money than ever before. Write something you can shoot with your own resources, shoot it on your phone, cut it on your laptop, Make your damn movie. Don't wait for anyone to tell you it's worth making. You know it is. So do it. At the very least, you'll have made something, and that's something to be proud of.
All right, Alex. All right. Get off my back. I'll do it.
Now, that guy is a master filmmaker in my eyes.
Yeah. Dark City is his
Yeah.
apex.
And you don't get much better than The Crow, in my opinion. It has all this like aura around it, and like, you know, preconceived notions about it, and like its legend has almost become like more in the forefront than the actual film. But you know, that's a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I just thought that was pretty relevant when I read that.
Yeah, I had no idea he even posted that. So,
I mean, there is not a single person at this table that like I wouldn't drop everything to have them to help them make their thing happen. Like, and I know I speak for most of the band too. You know, like it's just it's a good feeling. We also like I understand how hard it is. Like, and I know Wolfie understands how hard it is. Monster Zero. Like when we made like the Big Scary Monster that was supposed to be a full fucking album. Like it got to the point where we lost some tracks, and it was either like, well, we're going to put out this or not put out anything. Like it's an ugly time because you have a job and you have a house and you have everything, and it becomes all about compromise. And art should never be about compromise. But at some point, like you can either say like, well, I need to wait for the perfect time till I have this office and I can type in it or whatever else, or you can make some shit and be proud of it. And I think that as an adult, as a 40-something-year-old man, like I feel like. I'm comfortable with those compromises. You know, like I'm comfortable. Would I have preferred a 13-song version of the Big Scary Monster, or would I have preferred 3 new songs on 20th Century Bastards like they were supposed to be? Yes. Would I have preferred to put 2 songs from the Deadites on this Black Hat Anthems for Redheaded January Girls? Yes. But, you know, like kids get braces and get sick, and, you know, I get a flood in my ceiling that Aries has to come put back together again. Like
life gets in the way.
But this year Paranormal Punches came out, and I produced my first show, and booked it. I did everything that Myra didn't do. I produced it, booked it, you know, and promoted it. So it was like you know, it felt good. But could I have done 100 things more? Yes. But the show happened. And, you know, it's just about getting out there and doing it. And you realize at some point you don't need to watch, you know, every episode of a TV show or whatever. You know what I mean? Like you realize at some point that making your own stuff is awesome, you know, and then when you do take the time to, you know, just watch a bunch of dumb movies or whatever else, like you'll get into the point where that even means more, because you'll feel like, you know, you earned your relaxation. So, you know, I'm here. Like, I'm super excited. I'm stoked. If you can't tell, I'm falling over myself excited for you to make this happen.
Well, thanks, man. I'm looking forward to it. You know, it's gonna take some doing, and you know, as of course you guys know, I always say, you know, that people should suffer for their art, and I sternly believe in that, and I'm prepared to suffer a bit to get this thing off the ground. I mean, even if I complete it, if only 3 people see it, you know, I'll be happy. At least it's something.
Well, at least
you know?
4 people will see it.
No,
so
3.
Oh wait, Raven Shadow won't watch your movie.
Well, you really think Raven Shadow's gonna watch it?
I'll watch it.
I gotta mow the lawn and get a pack of smokes.
Yeah, I know I gotta go to fucking Walmart and do what I'm fucking told. How about that?
He'll ask how many smokes it takes to get through the movie.
I've got your whole collection, though, I think, MZ. I think I have everything that's available.
Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll just wait.
They all got 9/11, so I need new copies, but I kept them.
I don't know if Morbid Vision. I don't know if Morbid Vision is going to go to Blu-ray or not. Brian hasn't said anything to me yet on that, but he's still working on those 2 other films, trying to get those completed. And
yeah, you got 2 more coming out. You got Morbid Tales and Septic.
And Septic, exactly.
Andy's. I mean, look at that guy. You know, like that guy has made X amount of movies, right? That are all like, I think exemplary in their field. Andy's got a cool band that like has like stuff out. Like he's got a song on Black Hat Anthems, like, you know, like and that dude works and like pretty much lives in a zoo and has like, you know, wife and all these other. Yeah, like it's like, you know, that dude works hard to make his art, but like feels good, you know.
he feels very accomplished. He's proud of what he's done. You know, I mean, and I would be
should
too. I would be too if I just
He's
did a
banned in
fraction
fucking
of what he did.
Germany.
No shit, right?
It's really hard to do.
Actually, you can say directed by Monsanto, who's banned in Germany.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel pretty good about myself being in a film that's banned in Germany.
Yeah.
I feel pretty
You
good
should.
about myself. That's hardcore. That's hardcore.
Let's not go too crazy. Like, you shouldn't feel good about yourself.
Well, but you know what I mean. I mean
Yeah.
I mean, how many people could say that?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And they
Right, yeah, exactly. But being banned in Germany doesn't take away all the mirrors, is what I'm trying to say.
So in regard to the conversation in the chat room, Leanna says comparing art to IKEA legit sounds like a monstrous metaphor. And she says the director that director's post should be said for all art mediums. By the way, that kind of gatekeeping exists everywhere. And yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's just his specific field, so that's why it's relevant to that. But yeah, it absolutely happens in a lot of other art. Movies just happen to be more expensive than a lot of other types of art, where it takes millions upon millions of dollars to make a big budget movie, or even a medium sized budget, I guess.
I mean, as long as you're not doing it for money, it'll always be gratifying. You know what I mean?
I have yet to do any acting gigs for money, whether it be on stage, whether it be in film. I haven't received a dime. I think the last time I think the last time I worked with Brian for Morbid Vision, I think I got a couple of Cadbury eggs, and that was my payment.
Well, I mean, that's fine though. You have to set that. You know what I mean? Like, I joke that when I worked for that wrestling federation, I got, a particular wrestler's T-shirt over and over again whenever we got a new one. But like, that's what I said I would take. That was kind of like what I wanted. So I mean, as long as I'm not saying that like people have to get paid, like, it's not like I'm going to go around and put on a big elaborate Deadites production for free, but at the end of the day, like if we decided to play for free, or we played for a friend or if somebody needed help. I mean, the Deadites played for free for Kim Cody recently at that benefit. So, it's just you decide what you want. Like, what sucks about the entertainment industry is, who, you guys all know. I know Wolfie does, and I know he's going to know where I'm going. You guys know who Jared Leto is, right? He was the Joker.
Yep.
And,
Oh, yeah.
Requiem for a Dream. Yep.
30 Seconds to
he
Mars.
is in a band, that like plays stadiums, and he hasn't made a dime off that band. He hasn't made one dime, not because he put so much money into it that he doesn't. It's because the contract that he has, like literally, like they haven't made any money. They haven't made a single dime. Or there was a really great documentary about it. Like, the entertainment industry is like a bad thing right now, the way it's set up, because people go of all shapes and sizes and notoriety. People show up with their dreams like a new press shirt and like fucking get mud thrown at them at the end of the day, so it's not, it is a bad thing. No one's ever going to say you could probably, like, I don't know too much about poetry as far as like a job, like I know a lot of great poets, but like I'm sure that there is probably, in whatever, like, whatever way people have found to monetize poetry, I'm sure that there's some other like richer, meaner, bigger asshole like there to fucking lean on their checkbook,
Yeah, this is sort of a brief little tangent, but I just wanted to mention, because you had mentioned Jared Leto and 30 Seconds to Mars, and I just wanted to mention this is sort of someone who's a multi sort of talented person, and that would be Donald Glover, who is going to be playing Lando Calrissian in the Solo movie. And he also released a new track for his musical project, Childish Gambino, called This Is America. And I don't know if anyone has seen the video that's that's here on the show, but I recommend everyone go watch the video. It is fucking amazing and brutal.
I haven't seen it.
It's very much a take on this America, this day and age, and especially what it might be like to live it as a minority. and man, it's pretty impactful. So
yeah, I know it's been getting a lot of buzz. I just
Yeah.
haven't seen it yet, but I know it's been getting a lot of news lately.
look for it. I mean, it's everywhere. So
Somebody had a very, I wish I could remember who it is, and with my setup here, it's harder to look stuff up on talking to you guys, but somebody very aptly, and I thought very wittily, said that Donald Glover is doing what Kanye thinks he's doing.
yeah. I did see that as well. So yeah, definitely give it a look. It's a very powerful video, and I think it's something that people should see. Cecil says it was number 7 on trending last I saw. I think for a while it was number 1. So
Good.
Well, I mean, trending doesn't.
I mean, is the song any good?
I like it, but I like Childish Gambino.
But the video is making more news than the song.
Yes, you have to see it to understand. I don't want to say too much, but it's definitely a political sort of message.
Right.
So it's real powerful though. It's good, and we have in the chat room Mike Pichetta.
Oh, yes.
Is your boy?
Yeah.
Raven Shadow?
Absolutely.
He says, "Dog, I can't go to Canada, but getting banned from Germany tops that. I tip my hat to you." And Leanna says, in regard to suffering for your art, she says, depends on the suffering. Sometimes that attitude can lead to some abuse in the industry. Getting into the publishing biz myself, the writing industry treats writers like shit. Let me tell you. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's true, because writers always get dumped on. Always. That's a given fact.
Well, everyone expects you to do it for free or for peanuts, you know.
Yeah.
So, because T-Dog has, obviously you've done it, Mars, and T-Dog was doing it and writing these really like amazing like articles and getting paid like $50, and she was spending like hours upon hours working on them. It just wasn't worth it.
Exposure, though.
Yeah, he can't pay your rent with exposure.
Well, you can if you do it right.
Yeah, it's as far as suffering for your art goes, and we can close this down for sure, Wolfie. It's all relative.
Did you say
like everybody
suffering for
has a
your
different
aunt?
thing.
Yeah, you got something for your aunt. She's really fucking nice and buys you presents every year.
Yeah. How is
Suffer
your aunt?
for her.
How is
I
your
said
aunt?
suffering for your art.
Good.
I don't know what, but the Tiny White, veteran of this show, hates going out to play shows. Like he's still like terrified, but like he knows it's part of the gig, and he knows people love him and love it, so he does it. That's suffering. Like I think that the very seldom does really good art come from from easy times. Like I'll always go back to that thing that Bruce Campbell said about making movies. He said when he made, when you make a movie that's a good time, it usually sucks. Right. He said when he made the Evil Dead movies, he wanted to go back in time and kill his parents so he wouldn't be bored. But McHale's Navy is one of the best times he ever had in his life. So.
Yeah, but guess which one is the better film? I mean, I'm not saying like suffering in the way of thinking like Pinhead bringing down hooks and chains down from the sky, piercing your skin. I'm not thinking of that, but I mean,
candle wax on the nipple.
Nothing wrong with that.
A pee hole hook.
Yeah,
but I mean, maybe mental suffering. Like with what Tiny has. What I guess you would say it would be stage fright. Is that what it is? That Tiny has?
No, he just hates you all and everyone.
He likes stage is fine. It's everyone else.
Oh, he hates everybody that he sees out there on the dance floor. He could be the next Gigi Allen.
He doesn't like the sun or the moon or the air outside the basement. That's what it is. He just doesn't like outside. If we played 9 million shows in his basement, he'd be pleased as punch.
Oh, I envy his hate. No, I think that there should be some sort of anguish, whether it be mentally or physically, emotionally, or maybe even financially, that must go along with creating. And it comes with the territory, so I'm prepared to accept that. If I want to put something out there, create something, then damn it, I'm going to take the consequences that go along with it, because it's not all peaches and cream all the time. You know, you make
just keep in mind though that this part is easy. Like the writing part, like you know, not the execution, but I mean,
that's
like,
the fun
what are
part.
you losing from writing this movie? Like, Mr. Belvedere is going to be there when you get back. You know,
Fuller
like
House 4 will be there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, like whatever dumb shows you're doing or whatever else, or losing a couple hours sleep. Like, I mean, everybody here. I mean, this show. You know what I mean? Like this show. Like I'm not going to pull back the curtain too much, but this show is not easy all the time. Forget about all the work that Wolfie does, like in all the refereeing he has to do. Like, you know, this show is tough for scheduling and tough for a lot of personalities and whatever else. Like, it's never easy. Like, you know, just but you can't, like. I'm just saying, don't orchestrate misery just because you feel like it's an intricate part of the art.
Oh
like,
no!
You know,
No. I know it's got to be organic. I can't just make shit up just to make it feel bad for myself. No, I mean, it's just, no matter how well you have it set out for yourself to create, something is going to get in the way to distract that or to stop it entirely. And I'm prepared.
Break up with her
for that.
Yeah, you're suffering quite
a bit. I might need you as my lawyer.
Listen,
you're not married, so you don't have to worry about a lawyer.
Jesus Christ. But I'm prepared for it. So, you know, like I said, it's not all peaches and cream, but it's it just comes with the territory. No matter how well you make it, there's going to be things that are going to try and stop you. Right. And I'm ready to take that challenge on. I love challenges, and that's what I'm going to do.
Good for you.
For someone who loves challenges, you don't really challenge yourself very often. Glad you're doing it now.
Well, hey.
That's appropriate because I find you very challenging.
Thank you.
I'm broke, son says, let's cut the bullshit. Get an idea, I'll hit you with a brick, and bam, instant hit. You get the art and the suffering in half the time.
He'll do it too. That's a movie. Throw shit at MZ.
Leanna says, for writing, what's hard is all the rejection emails. You get a lot of those.
Well, you know, publishers think they're just hot shit, you know? They think they know everything just because they have a few $1 million in the bank and they can tell you whether you suck or not.
This is nothing. This is nothing against Leanna's writing because I've never read her writing. But nowadays, like with the advent of the internet and having everything be closer, and anyone can make a movie nowadays. Anyone can write an article and submit it. So it's like things like the avenues to get to publishers and to people like that are a lot more clear now. So I'm sure they get a lot more submissions, and that probably adds to how they're able to pay less because there's more competition, because there'll be someone willing to accept less because there is so much competition. Right. So, you know, it's a double-edged sword because it's a lot easier to reach out to people and to get your shit seen, but you know, as we know, there's a ton of static out there, and it's hard to cut through that static because of that.
Yeah, which makes perfect sense, really. I mean,
in a different life, I've got, I got rejection letters signed at least by legit legends. And I was also lucky enough to get some, like, awesome feedback from, legit legends. And also, like, awesome feedback from some people who thought they were legends. But, like, I find, like, now I'm very proud of those rejection letters that I got in a different life because while they sting at the time, because it's like it's like scratching a scratch ticket almost. Like at some point, like you just take, the generic ones, you might not want to work there anyway, right? If somebody just has a generic form letter that says you don't get the job, but the good ones that have feedback in them, like, that's like, some people pay a lot of money to get feedback from, I'm not going to drop names, but like from some of the people who I was lucky enough to get rejected by. So, it's just a matter of like, it's part of the gig, I tend to look at life like a game, and, you don't win every game, when it's just that simple. Like, and if you get, if you let it get you too down, then you're going to lose every time because you're writing for approval at that point as opposed to writing to write.
You know what Raven Shadow's thinking right now? How long do I have to fucking wait for my intro?
Let's get to it. Put him out of his misery.
I was thinking about Aries too.
Yeah, no, you weren't.
Yeah, I was. He likes
Aries
his
is
pot.
asleep right. He's asleep
He's,
right now.
yeah. He's
Aries
suffering.
don't even give a shit about his own intro.
No,
He's
he-
suffering for MZ's art. He's suffering talking about MZ's art.
We also have
Raven Shadow, you're next. You got to get off the fucking log and get some writing done.
I know. I was on a good run for a while.
But I had something to do.
No, I was good. I gave you guys. You guys haven't read it too. You guys have the first issue.
how
Yeah.
long? That
Johnny
was like 10
Dynamo.
years ago.
It was 5 years ago. Thanks.
Okay.
What page on? Nothing. Thanks.
I have it somewhere.
Thank you for that. So I'm glad something
You
that
want
I
to sign
created.
it? You want to sign it for me?
If you can find it, I'll sign it for you.
I have it. I know where it is.
Where?
It's somewhere in my house. We also have the Triumph Riding, Stage Erecting, Whiskey Drinking, Chief of Security, the Warrior of Nor'easters, America's Sweetheart, and Rick Rubin's stunt double, Ares, the God of War.
Hello.
You don't like Rick Rubin's stunt double anymore?
No,
You
I
sick of
do.
it?
It's just. I don't know. Let's move this on to something I can participate in. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
We also have the chain smoking, hand kissing, baby shaking, lorazepam loving, former comic book reading nerd, the official smoke chamber for Castle Wolfenstein, the Pimper Promotions, the Italian rapscallion, the professional bullshitter, the cool principal, the proprietor of the sexy speakeasy, and the Parisian brew hall himself, Michael Ravenshadow.
That's right, John. I think Aries is 110% correct. So, Aries, what's the best plow to use in a nor'easter? Is there like a John Deere? Is he the best one?
Mr. Plow.
Yeah. I want you to participate.
I don't think he wants to talk about that. I don't think he cares.
Plow.
If you hit him, Aries, I won't stand up from this time.
Ravenshadow, let's talk about postage and mailing shit. And
The name again.
I'm sorry, this is
Mr. Plow.
in the intro, he's a war fighter nor'easter.
yeah,
How
he
do you
also
fight-
kills people too.
Oh, well, I fucking tried. I guess. Fine. I'll tell you about some forever stamps.
You want to talk about comic books or healthcare or something?
Yeah, you want to tell me the intelligent mail barcode, the IMBD? It's very important.
The IMDb.
The IMBD.
Yeah, intelligent mail barcode.
Did you
All
say
of it.
intelligent mail barcode?
Yeah, it's a thing.
Opposed to the female barcode.
But they haven't. The post office is very old school. It's a boys' club. Only have intelligent mail barcodes. Look at your bills. The ones that's like a squiggly line. That's what an IMDb. Yeah.
IMDb.
IMDb.
You mean IMBC?
No, it's what I said. Intelligent mail barcode. Oh, I am. Yeah, I am. What was that?
Yeah, good.
Jesus Christ.
I was trying to help Aries out. This is exciting.
This is exciting.
This
It is
is
exciting.
This is exciting.
You're trying to help me out by digging a hole for yourself.
Well, I figured
Right.
you could jump in on that. Then save me. That's what you do.
Plow.
No.
Whiskey's fun.
Hey, I would like to. By the way, I alluded to it earlier. I'd like to thank Aries for once again fixing my house the other day.
You wouldn't have a house.
Jesus, what are you, Bob Vila all
No,
of a sudden? What's going on?
I
with
would.
you?
He must come with the beard and the fucking belt because he really is. He fucking put shit together.
Wow.
So as you all know, I was really sick for a couple of years. So the house just kind of fucking fell by the waistline. Yeah, right. Good work, Mars. I didn't even mow the fucking lawn, and now there's just like every week something happens that's not like a minor thing. Like, like I said, water was pouring through my office ceiling the other day. And Aries came and fixed it. So, thank you, Aries. I publicly, I want to say that I wouldn't have a house without you, and I really appreciate it.
He's
So
still
thank you
trying to
very
make up for making you stand behind the raffle table.
Yeah.
much. No, I'm not. I actually forgot about that. So-
I just came
but-
over and helped out with my cock. His lady loved me showing up with my cock.
Wow.
Couldn't get enough of my cock.
Did you show it to her?
Oh yeah, she was all about it. All about my cock.
Wow, Dynamo.
And then after, I played with her knob a little bit.
Wowzers.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
true.
What Dynamo think of your cock?
She wasn't there.
No.
Oh.
Wow.
Wowzers.
The irony is, I don't give a fuck.
Wow.
life is long still. So
How about that?
How about that? All right. Well, I guess we can move on here.
hey,
And-
Wolfie, before you move on, can
yeah.
I say what I was going to say in my intro that
Sure.
Monster Zero messed up?
Yeah, sure.
For those of you who missed the intro, I had a nice intro planned, and Monster Zero burped at me just as I was about to start, and then I tried to not laugh, and then I almost choked to death. So that's what you fucking missed there. But I super love this, and I'll post it in the chat, and it's already on the thing. But the compilation we keep talking about has a great article that the talked about great poets, the legendary Victor Infante wrote. So check out that article that I put the link into the chat, and it's on the Fib and it's on the Deadites thing, and we'll talk a little bit more about the comp, I think, in a minute. But it's a real good article, and it really tells Kim Cody's story and the story of the comp better than we could. So
What's so funny?
I'm watching Aries pour whatever
Mars is pouring his heart out.
And I'm pouring my whiskey.
Yeah.
yeah, you're wringing out every last drop out of that bottle.
Wow.
Waste not, want not.
God.
Yeah, it's Mars is a great article. So people in the chat room, Mars just posted it, and then if not, it's on the Fib, and or you can probably just search for Worcester Telegram and Black Cat Anthems and probably find it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Victor Infante is a good dude and a good writer. So
yeah.
check it out.
He actually asked us to do something that I'll talk to you guys about off air. So
Okay. All right. So we also have, I just want to call out, we got someone new in the chat room. He's been checking us out, I think since maybe the Fangoria episode, but he's been hanging out on the YouTube, on YouTube chat. So I just directed him here. And it's David. David left us a voicemail last week. He was the one that asked for some recommendations. So,
Oh, nice.
so thanks, David. Good to have you in the chat room, and it was awesome hearing from you last week, buddy. So, feel free to send us a voice message anytime you want. All right, so I guess we'll start to wind this down and get ready for a break.
Yes.
But if you guys want to help support the show, there's a few ways you can do so. Head on over to trickortreatradio.com. And then you can go ahead and scroll down on the right-hand side. You're going to see a link to Amazon. Click on that Amazon logo, and it's going to go ahead and put in our affiliate link into Amazon. Everything you purchase in that session gets attributed to us. It doesn't cost you any extra, but Raven Shadow.
It helps keep the lights on.
So if you shop on Amazon anyways, go ahead and help us out. And we also have, let me see if I can get the info here. So Amazon has this new thing called, well, it's not really new, but they have influencers. And so they invited us to create a influencer page, and I'm going to try to keep it updated. And basically, it's just the stuff, we could post up stuff like in a store and sort of like a kind of our own little storefront on Amazon and direct you guys right to it. And then you can buy stuff that we talk about on the show. So I think I'm going to try and do that. Maybe I'll do the double taps if we're able to. So let me just real quick try to find. I'll get the I should be prepared with this, but I'll get the web address.
The URL?
Yep,
What they call
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll look it up and just maybe I'll have it when we come back from break. But yeah, I'll post that up somewhere. So if you guys do shop on Amazon, use our link and help us out. And also recently, we posted on the Fib last week, and we got some good feedback. I'd love to get some more feedback from you guys, though. But we've been talking about maybe doing some more content, especially some video content. Is that something you guys would like to see? We used to do the CryptoCast back in the day, pretty much before this show started, and they did run sort of side by side for a little while, but it got to be a little bit too much work for one person to do, so we had to focus on the audio podcast. But I've been thinking about maybe trying to bring it back. I have maybe a better workflow where I can do it on my tablet now as opposed to having to do it in the studio. So there's the potential to do some more video stuff, and I want to know what you guys want to see. Some of the suggestions we had were a cooking show with Mars. People want just sort of like quick hit reviews, and other stuff like that. So if you guys want to see stuff like that, let us know. Or one of the thoughts was, do you guys want a condensed version of our review? Like, so for the for the film that we discuss every week, do we want a condensed version of that on video? Is that kind of is it sort of, if you guys are listening to the show, you probably don't need the video, so maybe you don't even care about that. So is that too similar? Do you want something different? I guess let us know. I'd love to hear from you guys about that sort of thing, because we're thinking about doing some more content. So
I'm excited. Watching a lot of the great, very popular video shows that are available now, I feel like the CryptoCast was ahead of its time. It seems absurd to say it because we're fucking morons. But when I watch things like even Being Elite or other shows like that, I feel like, that's the fucking CryptoCast. That's what we were doing in 2012.
One thing Cecil said, Cecil says you guys have so much great content you could make highlights of. And that was, I think he had actually made that recommendation on the thread. And it is a good recommendation. The only thing that's a little difficult about it is that this show is 3 to 4 hours, and the editing of that is a little difficult for me. If I shoot something specific, it's a lot easier to kind of trim it and put it up, and but that is a possibility. It doesn't mean it can't happen. But we stream these directly to YouTube, so I don't even actually have a hard copy of them. I don't save it to my hard drive. It's just stream right to YouTube because I have a finite amount of space. When I at my height, I think I produce 5 podcasts, and I keep all the raw files for those. So I have pretty much like a 4 terabyte drive, almost full right now, of just podcasts and video stuff. So it's storage wise, it's pretty big. But that's something I certainly would consider, because I always like doing that stuff in the past. Like, I think we did it with the Sex Criminals, Mars? Was that the one?
Yep,
we did Sex Criminals, did like a highlight video of that, which, seemed to be pretty popular. So for the kind of like the crazy antics like that, I will try to do those, but I haven't done it in a while. So maybe I'll do some more of those as well. Humble Eddie says, making morning cereal with Mars.
You wouldn't think cooking would be in my my realm of skills, but
beyond that,
sitting here sucking on.
Beyond that mac and cheese, what else do you make?
French toast.
I'm very bad at toast. I make a very good French toast, but
Cecil says
I make.
Cecil says I'd watch Mars pour milk over oats any day.
Thank you.
As in the singer?
Yeah.
Hey now.
And David, one sec, Mars.
I make stuff.
David said, I watched Psychokinesis for my homework. Hope we get a good horror streaming movie for next week. Spoiler alert, yes, we will get a more of a horror related thing next week, David. So we'll talk about that after we review this week's movie.
Aries, why are you my villain all of a sudden? Did Tiny put you up to this?
What do you mean all of a sudden? Have we met?
Well,
You got mad?
I make a very good cherry glazed chicken. I make a very good, though it's very easy, I make a very good chicken parmesan. I make for some reason it doesn't translate as well to eggplant parmesan, but I can do that. I make a few things. Not a lot, but I'm trying to learn all the time.
There you go.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way, I'm a better cook than I was a wrestler, and I fucking got over like a motherfucker as a wrestler, so.
Creepy Girl says she wants to see a Mars fairy tale hour where he reads an old horror movie story, but in fairy tale fashion, like he's reading to kids, with glasses and a shawl and a rocking chair.
Like Masterpiece Theater or something.
You'd be fucking surprised at how much that looks like that right now.
Or she says, or Monsters Hero playing with his Transformers.
Oh, sure.
Is that a euphemism?
Yeah. How about Trick or Treat Radio like Cribs?
We get a tour of the Raven Chateau.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I'm almost
Yeah, we
done.
can do that.
working on that.
Everyone can see the sexy speakeasy.
Oh yeah, it'd be a little fucking.
We could do that.
special- Yeah, it'd be nice, right?
Maybe it'll be one of the first things we do.
Yeah, people want to see that.
Does everyone want a tour of the Raven Chateau?
Oh man,
Get to meet Ollie?
Ollie will be there.
Yeah. Do you ever
Nice.
carry Ollie around and like stroke him like a supervillain?
Not a super villain, but I carry him around. So come on,
Yeah.
going to bed.
Go to bed.
Come on. Come on.
How's he feeling?
He's feeling good. No,
Good.
the resurgence of the limp seemed to go away.
Oh, good.
Good.
So he still can't jump on the bed anymore.
I have a shitty thing to talk about with dogs. Speaking of your tick thing,
Come on,
Ozzy has Lyme disease.
get the fuck out,
Are
really?
you shitting me? How the hell did that happen?
He got bit by a tick. It was in February when it was like 39 degrees.
When did they find it?
Well, we found it.
In February?
Yeah, we found it like probably the day after.
Okay.
It was like on his, like kind of under his armpit,
Yeah,
you know, like, and so we pulled it off and everything. And normally we use, we have a spray that we use, like kind of like a organic, like holistic spray. And that usually keeps him off. But we didn't use it because it was fucking snow on the ground.
Right.
You know, so what I'm finding out though is Lyme disease isn't quite as bad in dogs as it is in humans.
Okay.
And he's on antibiotics right now for 30 days. And then what they're going to do is they're going to reevaluate him. And I think they said they have to let it kind of take its course. So in a few months, we're going to go back in, get him tested again.
Yep.
And his levels were pretty high, which means it probably was a recent thing. But if we can get his levels lower, like he wasn't showing any symptoms,
Yeah.
which is the good thing. But we decided because we're a little afraid of that just to get it checked out. And turns
poor
out
thing.
he's got Lyme. But apparently dogs can live with it and never see any symptoms.
Okay.
So that's a good thing, and I'm glad we kind of caught it, you know. But yeah, if you live anywhere where ticks are, be careful.
Fucking everywhere already.
Yeah, it sucks because we take him for two walks a day, and he loves going outside. We take him for like a half-mile walk.
I remember when we took him for a walk one time, and I remember some of the areas are a little wooded.
Yep.
And so I figured, that's must have been.
I move for Ollie though too. Like when he comes in, I have a little comb that I'll go over with him too to make sure. Try to get.
You comb the dog's hair too?
Yeah.
You got to comb a dog's hair.
Yeah. See, and Johnny knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I brush Doodles 3 or 4 times a day when I'm home.
See.
You get to hear about our grooming habits of our pets.
Yeah. It's almost walking out animals.
But ticks fucking I'm so afraid of ticks right now. Like I took the kids for a fucking hike the other day, and I didn't even have any fucking fun because I was just like, every few minutes I was fucking stopping everybody and looking for ticks. Like it's just not fun.
I fucking cut off birthmarks the other
They
day.
ruined the outside.
You cut off birthmarks.
Yeah, I'm like, was that always there? Ow, fuck. I'd call my mom. Call his girlfriends. Is this here always here?
Was this always?
Did you remember this?
Jesus Christ. All right, so we need to head to break in just a moment.
Get anxiety.
But we're going to come back and we're going to talk about psychokinesis. But Raven Shadow. Real quick, if you guys want to also support the show, we have a store. Head on over to Trick or Treat Radio and click on store, and you can go ahead and buy some digital content. We have volumes 1, 2, and 3, greatest hits of Trick or Treat Radio, available to download immediately. You buy them, you download them right then and there. We have other stuff for sale. We have T-shirts, we got buttons, we got other stuff like that. So go check out trickortreatradio.com, click on the store, buy some stuff, and now Raven Shadow.
Yes.
Now let people know what you did to prepare to watch Psychokinesis.
Oh, well, Saturday, springtime in New England.
Springtime for Hitler?
Oh, yes. And I mowed the lawn for the first time. Very
Wow.
excited. Yeah.
No ticks?
No, I don't think so. No, I checked myself.
Before you wrecked yourself?
Yeah, I had to. I came close. It was almost wrecked. My neighbor judged me on the death of some trees that I had. It wasn't my fault. Told him to go fuck himself. And then I was going to go see Avengers on Sunday.
Oh, boy.
But it was raining out. And I figured...
You didn't go because it was raining?
You know there's a roof on the theater,
I don't
right?
like going out in the rain. I figured that would make
It's not
more
a
people
drive-in.
come. Yeah, well, I don't know. I get confused. A few people will be there, so I didn't go out.
People will be there.
Way too many people get rains
Yeah, it's
out.
a fucking movie theater.
Yeah, I don't like that.
And it's the most popular
Just so
movie
you
in
know-
the world ever.
Yeah.
Raven Shadow, my special lady friend has now seen it twice, and you've seen it 0 times.
Oh.
She didn't even care about comic books.
You know what? You have until next week, or I'm spoiling the motherfucker for
You want to come with me Saturday?
Possibly.
Okay, nice. That's a date.
That's kind of far in advance for me to make plans.
Fair.
But
I'm going to go see Deadpool this week, so
It's out
I've
next
moved
week, though.
on.
It's coming out next week.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I'll probably go see Avengers again Friday.
Yeah, all right, so now I'm excited. But no, I ended up staying home and watched a lot of movies.
Not Infinity War, though.
No, I watched fucking, what was it? Fucking Leaving Las Vegas. That fucked me up a little
Oh,
bit.
boy.
Yeah,
What'd you do watch that for?
Because I'm in a bad place and they figured it would really help me out a little bit.
Did you follow it up with Requiem for a Dream?
I know, yeah. Yeah, I stayed over to the package store early on Sunday morning. They're open by 11. And yeah, then I got ready to watch this movie, so I had to strap on.
Do you love a scary story? Do you love to dance? The Big Scary Monster Haunts at Midnight is a collection of dark songs about sex, love, death, revenge, and the end of the world. Brought to you by the world's greatest monster hunting electroshock band, the Deadites. Available on iTunes, Google Music, Amazon, CD Baby, and all other digital distribution sites.
Trick or Treat Radio, man. That's where it's at. That's the new Fangoria Radio.
Hello, Ruby Burble.
What's up, y'all? It's me, the Yeti. Telling all the ladies that they couldn't be more fine and that we should knock those boots like Frankenstein. When I want to get my nerd on, I go to Facebook and I go to the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group. That's the place where I get to talk about all the hip new horror movies, all the cool comics,
Like comics.
RPGs, video games, you name it, we're talking about shit on there. And you could not be any cooler if you were the coolest kid in school. Be the first kid on your block to swing their cock over at the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group. Just go to Facebook, search for Trick or Treat Radio, ask to join, and it's like Nerd Nirvana, baby, without the shotgun blast. This is the Yeti, signing out. See you at the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group.
Follow us on Twitter at The Deadites, TheDeadites.com, and TrickOrTreatRadio.com.
I'm Mike Allred. For the gidgiest listening experience, you gotta check out Trick or Treat Radio.
Hello, this is the Sasquatch, aka Bigfoot, but you can just call me Frank. And when I'm not stomping around the woods throwing rocks at hunters, I like to listen to the Paranormal Punchers podcast. That's right, Paranormal Punchers. They talk about all things paranormal, and they're hilarious. Go find them on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Google Play, and ParanormalPunchers.com.
All right, we're back with Trick or Treat Radio.
Yeah. Hello, everybody.
MZ's watching that video.
Yeah. I'm finally watching Childish Gambino, This Is America.
A couple times you gasped.
Yeah, I did.
And
I did.
that's a you got to do something when that happens to you.
Yeah, right? Yeah, he's doing things in this video you don't see ever.
No. It's pretty nuts.
It is.
So we're going to talk about a movie. Let's see.
The movie.
A movie? All right, we got some voicemails coming in. If anyone else wants to get some in, there's still a little bit of time. So feel free to get those. I'm looking for that Amazon link that I mentioned earlier. I forgot to look it up. And here it is. It is... Oh, it's going to have me log in, of course.
Jesus.
Yeah, the video's pretty intense, huh?
That's crazy. That is nuts.
What Mars?
Very good.
Hey, speaking of Avengers, I was on because people aren't fucking sick of hearing me talk about it. Apparently, I was on Punch Time this week talking about Avengers: Infinity War.
Oh, so how many shows have you been on now to talk about it?
Like a million, like an infinity. I think the Boar Stone grew into my hand.
Jesus.
But yeah, it was fun. I love. Though, know what I feel bad about? At one point, I accidentally hung up on them, and they didn't call me back. So they were probably sick of me by then too.
All right, I finally have the link. It's Amazon.com/shop/the So easy enough. Amazon.com/shop/the Deadites. There's only 2 items up on there now, but I'll continue to update that as we go. But it's just an easy way to kind of find the stuff that we talk about on the show. And if you want to purchase it, go ahead and purchase it. So there you go. All right, let me see.
They probably would have had.
Probably would have what?
They probably would have had Raven Shadow on, but like, see, that's the thing. Like, I end up getting on all these superhero things because the guy that they would have asked like doesn't see the movie until it's on fucking Channel 56.
Is it on there?
Like they probably would have asked Raven Shadow on, but he hadn't seen the movie yet.
Well, I'll see the movie.
I saw the movie. They didn't ask me. I don't even know.
I think everyone's a little bit afraid of you, Aries.
What are we talking about?
Infinity War.
Yeah, I know. Who? Okay, who are we talking about?
Oh, Punch Farm. I was on Punch Farm. I can never tell when you're there or gone because you don't say very much.
All right. There's a couple things I want to read in the chat room. Let me see. Slegoth is hanging out now, and he says, I'm dealing with a massive tick infestation all around us here, even in the house. Massively... wait, what? He says, I've been bitten 8 times or more.
Well, he's outside a lot, too.
Yeah, that's true. He is.
I'm waiting until they fucking have the gift of flight. You know what I mean? It's a matter of
That's
fucking
how we're
time.
going to get away from these ticks?
No, this is how we're going to fucking just, might as well. They'll like, isn't there the tick that will bite you and it makes you, like in Texas, right? We talked about it. You lose the ability to eat meat.
Yeah, you get allergic to meat.
The Lone Star tick.
Yeah, what a fucking asshole that is. It's like fucking,
right.
Oh, you get bit by a tick and your fucking dick don't work. Awesome. You know, that's fucking a matter of fucking time.
Yeah.
Your dick don't work.
You know, they
yeah,
suck.
can't eat salami. Salami doesn't work.
Yeah. Not only can I eat salami, neither can my wife.
First time Mike
Oh,
says...
my fuck.
I think my wife was bit by that tick.
You don't have... Well, I guess technically you might.
Wait, what's that?
I said, you don't have a wife. And then I was like, well, technically. First time Mike says, Evening family, Infinity War was great.
Thank you, Mike.
Was. Hey.
Hey, what?
Derek Rook told me a crazy animal story. Can I tell it to you real quick?
Real quick, yeah.
Yeah, there's a dude in Florida who an alligator came up and ate one of his 3 dogs.
I don't want
So
to
he
hear
captured
this.
that Well, no, listen, it's worse. So he captured that alligator, right? Put it in his basement, and you know what he allegedly did? He raped that alligator for 6 days.
What?
Derek
Yeah,
Rook did that?
Not Derek Rook.
No, he
Derek
didn't
Rook
do
told
it.
him the story.
Yeah.
Well,
How do you?
I thought it was... He got the alligator, he took it in his basement, and he raped it for 3 days.
What's the thing about
That
animals?
that
though?
shows that alligator.
Unless they do it right away, they're not going to know why they're being assaulted. It's like you can't say.
Well, I guess if you just rub his stomach while you're raping it, it's going to be okay. You know, I mean.
I thought he was
you tell your
kidding
victims?
me.
You're up the belly. It's okay.
Who told you?
It's okay.
Yeah. I thought he was kidding. I thought the new Alligator was a rape revenge movie. But he was like he told the story, and I looked at him for like a few minutes and was waiting for him to say he's just bullshitting. But like it was like a legit story that he. I mean, the people on the radio may have been bullshitting, but like, what makes you think that that's a way to punish an alligator?
Yeah, make boots out of them.
Just kill it, yeah. Like, I mean, if an eye for an eye. Like, the alligator didn't rape the dog. Yeah. Like, I just don't understand. Like, you fucking raping the shit out of an alligator. Like, what good is that gonna do? Like, how fucked up? You know where it happened? No offense, Lagoff. Fucking Florida.
Yeah.
Florida, Australia.
Holy shit!
2
he's
places
fucking
I'm
right.
not going.
I just looked it up, and it says Florida man caught having sex with alligator he kept tied up in his backyard.
So he did it in the backyard?
He looks like the kind of guy who would have sex with an alligator if he could get away
It's
with
from
it.
2015.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
This shit's real.
All I picture is Monster Zero in that picture, and him saying it looks like a guy who would have sex with an alligator.
Wow.
All right, enough about that. Let's talk about the movie. So,
Enough about that.
we're going to talk about Psychokinesis, this film from 2018. It is, at least in America, it's on Netflix. It's a Netflix exclusive here in America. And it is rated TVMA. It is 1 hour, 41 minutes, action comedy fantasy.
Ooh.
And is written and directed by Yeon Sang-ho. And it stars Ryu Seung-ryong, Shim Yeon-kyung, Park Jung-min, and Jung Yu-mi. The synopsis we have: after drinking water from a mountain spring, a bank security guard gains telekinetic superpowers, which he must use to save his estranged daughter from an evil construction company as a superhero. So this is a little outside of our normal, thing of what we do, but we do love us some South Korean flicks, and we also really enjoyed Train to Busan, so makes sense that we would also review the latest film from Yeon Sang-ho.
Definitely.
So,
I want to see all the fucking dudes' movies.
Yeah, dude's great. He's got a lot of other movies though. So want to watch them all, Raven Shadow?
Yeah. I mean, how many? Is it like fucking Santo?
No, not that many.
I got to see Avengers.
He's got 8 movies,
All right.
and two of them are shorts. So
All right. And we've already seen 2 of them.
correct.
All right. So,
And the other one, Seoul Station, which is basically the prequel to Train to Busan.
That's the cartoon, right?
Yeah, the animated one. Yep.
All right, I'll check that out.
So, so his sort of calling card, I guess you could say, is movies that, I mean, at least in the 2 movies that we've seen, kind of subverting, genre expectations. I don't know if that's the best way to put it, but kind of taking, in zombie movies were very popular, so he took Train to Busan and kind of turned it a little on its head, just a little bit. And I think he kind of did something similar to this. Not that this is, a brand new thing that's never been done before, but, it definitely takes a very popular genre of films, the superhero film, and kind of tells a story in a different way, I guess.
I kind of saw this, and I don't know if Mars can agree or say it more eloquently than I can, but this kind of reminded me almost like a Western, in the sense where the stranger comes in, try to save the town. Like, they seemed kind of cordoned off from the rest of, like, the world. I mean, this obviously was in modern day times, very modern day times. But I think this could have worked in any era.
Yep.
You know what I'm trying to say? Like, and once again, I'm not being as eloquent as I could, but it kind of reminded me of that stranger coming in type vibe.
Sure.
Hero.
Yeah. I could get with that. I do want to talk about this movie, but there's one thing I just want to address in the chat room, and it was, let's see, Leanna said that she's heard that Boston's racist, and Mars says, "What? You've been misinformed." And actually,
well,
she's not misinformed. There's a long history of it, and it's I think it's from outsiders that have never been here. Maybe think it's worse than it is, but like if especially in sports, it was really bad.
By the ownership,
especially in with the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah,
they were the last team to integrate and have a black player on their team, and they were also the last team to sign a black free agent. The first one was in 1992. So
really,
there's a history of it. Whether we live through it or not, that's a different story. But there is a long history of racism.
They just renamed Yawkey Way to Jersey Way, I think it is now,
yep,
right?
Or renamed it back because because Tom Yawkey was a racist.
But isn't that like kind of like saying that the South is the South at one point in American history almost broke off from the United States because we wanted them to not be racist anymore. Like in my lifetime, I don't think Massachusetts has been like. I think honestly, I've been a lot of places on the East Coast only. Like while I was doing like wrestling stuff and whatever else. Like I think New England is almost the Like I think New England is politically correct to a fault generally now, and that it might be why. But I mean, I'm sure you could find some major racist stuff everywhere. I mean, California and the whole country is not. Immune to it. I'm sure you could dig up some in very recent 1992 was it that the first black free agent was? Like that's not very not very long ago.
No, free agency had been around for about at that point 16 years, I think. So I'm saying that's like to have done that is not very long ago. Like that is recent history of racism. But I don't think as a rule, like I take offense to somebody saying that Boston is. Yeah, but it's not one person saying it, Mars. It's true. Like it's true. There's other. I'm not. This isn't a history lesson, but there's other stuff out there that in certain areas they had to segregate because it was bad. So I'm not saying we know because we experience it, because we live around here. We don't live in Boston proper. We've been to Boston a lot.
But I think our president right now is racist. That doesn't mean that the United States is racist. That's what I'm saying. Like because they were rich, racist people here, doesn't mean that the Commonwealth of Massachusetts or Boston is racist.
Well, I mean, I don't see it. Like I don't really see it all that often. So for me, like my experience, that I don't really see it. But like I said, there's a history of it, and even just a couple. Was it last year actually? Speaking of sports again, right. Adam Jones, the center fielder for the Baltimore Orioles, had some racist remarks thrown his way, and it brought up kind of like some of the history of it, and it's probably worse in sports than it is in just normal everyday life. But but
I find Boston sports fans to be the fucking worst. Like I've said that for years.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, like that. It's popular opinion, and despite us living here and maybe not seeing it very often, if at all, it is something that Boston has had an issue with over the years. It's probably a lot better now than it's ever been, but it's still something that's
still around, and noticeable.
But you're right. I mean, in comparison to the South, you can't compare it. But to maybe in the Northeast, maybe it had a worse sort of reputation than some other places. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, nowhere's perfect. I mean, there's Pete Wilson on the other coast, and I think at the end of the day, though, like my offense is that there was some rich, awful, racist people, and there probably still are. I mean, there are arguments to be made that the Kennedys are killers, like that they drove ladies into the fucking water and left them there, but that doesn't mean that Massachusetts is killers. Like I hate like that sort of very broad, like ultra, like that sort of broad thing is, in my opinion, just generalization. It's just as bad as racism, in my opinion. I'll never go to Boston because it's racist.
It's not just one person saying it, though. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not, it's...
Yeah, but there are a lot of idiots in the world, and they're rich idiots in some cases. But, like, I just think that sort of like, well, I'll never go to Boston because I'll never go to New York because Donald Trump is from there. They must be really racist then. The most racist human being on earth lives there. Like, that's just a silly, immature statement to me. Like, I understand that Yawkey Way, like, I was the first person that said Yawkey Way should be shut down. You know, but like it doesn't mean that I think that. Well, like no, I mean, but like a lot of people are like, oh well, it's like his. Like I know people are like, oh well, who cares? It's just history. Like just fucking change it. Like it's like you know, Ku Klux Klan way. You know, it shouldn't be that way. But
and I don't.
Well, we live in a time now. We live in a time now where Confederate statues are being taken down because of what these people actually represented.
Not enough
back
of them,
in the day.
probably.
No, definitely not enough. But I mean, it is a start. It is happening, and with Yawkey Way being changed back to Jersey Way now, I mean, it's showing that Boston is starting to take notice of this.
Yeah.
You know,
I still wish they
they're
took
going in
another
the right
thing.
direction.
Jersey is the worst.
I agree. His name is something else. You know,
Well, that's what it used to be called. That's
Yeah.
why they're going back to the name. So,
but you take
But
it
I
as
mean,
something new. Make it like fucking Poppy Boulevard or some shit.
well, they named another street after David Ortiz. So,
Yeah.
No, well,
You know, like at the end of the day, though, like I'm not going to say that there aren't. I mean, again, like I said, like Donald Trump, where's that guy live? Well, now he lives. Well, Washington must be the most racist place in the world now because the most racist human on earth lives there.
actually, Key Largo. Where's he go on vacation?
Right. You know, it's just a matter of like
one other thing.
like this, like
Leanna said that she was actually just quoting an SNL skit. So all this is for naught because she was quoting a skit. So
SNL skit.
I think that I just think at the end of the day they you know the we have to be careful, like you know, and I think she's much smarter than this, so I don't think she would do it in real life. I think she's very eloquent and knows her thing, but we have to be careful to not do that kind of reverse discrimination thing, right? And say that everybody in some place is bad. You know what I mean? Like, oh, everything is bad. Like,
well, yeah, I don't think she would say that. So, all right, well, let's move on to this movie. I just wanted to sort of, you know, there's a lot of talk about that. So, all right, so
want to make me look dumb?
What's that?
They want to make me look dumb, like everybody except Raven Shadow does.
Right.
Raven Shadow wants you to look dumb?
No,
I said except everybody else does.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
I don't want that.
So, Psychokinesis. Let's talk about this flick.
Yes.
There's no racism in South Korea, right?
No, it's all.
Oh, it's all
works
all
out.
Talk about segregation in
it's all
Korea.
puppies and chocolate farts there, man. It's all happiness.
So you know you fucked up somewhere when Germany fixed one of your problems before you did.
Yeah.
I mean, with that said, I'm probably never going to Germany.
I'd totally go to Germany.
I would not. I wouldn't even fucking go there.
Yeah, Germany's super nice, actually. I mean, like as far as like
go to Germany.
I ain't doing that. My grandfather went once.
Oh boy.
Yeah, he was there for a few years.
No, he fought in the good guys, came home, and you know, I'm just scared. This Germany scares the hell out of me. I know there's good Germans. I know some good Germans, but Germany scares the fuck out of me.
You won't go out in the fucking rain, and you're talking about going to Germany?
I ain't going. That's why I'm not going. It rains there.
You know it rains in Germany.
Yeah, they probably have big German ticks too with fucking iron crosses and helmets.
I won't go to fucking Germany.
Ever see the end of that first segment of Twilight Zone the movie? Boy, did it rain.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
All right, let's talk about Psychokinesis. So this film had an interesting beginning. It's kind of like it was like a TV show where they're showing Rumi, who is you know the main protagonist, and she has this restaurant. She makes like was it like fried chicken,
spicy fried chicken. Her and her mother's secret recipe. Very popular.
Yeah. Yep. And so, you know, it's kind of this fun little thing. You see that they're really hyping up this restaurant and everyone should go there. Yeah. And then very shortly after, like there's she makes a call and says they're coming. They're coming here first. And it's this construction crew and they're breaking down her windows and getting in. So basically the idea here is that there's this construction crew who wants to what was it? They had the right to this to evict people, but they weren't going about it properly. Like they bought the property.
Yeah, they're looking to like basically do like redevelopment.
Yeah,
right?
Redevelop it, like break it down, redevelop it.
But there were some folks that weren't leaving. They just wanted
right because I think they were supposed to get money for it or something like that. They the construction company wasn't on the up and up, so to speak.
Right. It's like when they're going to put a road through your town. They'll
pay you for
your house and shit like that.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff. But they weren't getting the compensation. They were obviously an evil corporation. Mm-hmm. But no, it was kind of fucking scary because I don't know what the fuck was going on. You know, it was kind of like it's a lot of fucking dudes.
Oh, yeah, all of a sudden, I mean, all of a sudden, these dudes in hard hats show up, in white hard hats, and just start busting shit down. And Rumi, her restaurant is basically being destroyed, you know?
Yeah.
And
it takes a fucking turn.
It does take a turn. And then, so they pull her out, and then all of a sudden, her mom is driving by, and she's like, what's going on? And so she drives into the crowd, basically trying to get them to disperse of all these construction people. And then one of them yanks Mom out of the car and like hard, and Mom hits her head on the sidewalk and dies. So
and that was pretty fucking intense too.
Yeah, it was kind of an intense scene. So
what a bummer.
So, you know, Rumi is not only has her restaurant basically destroyed, but her mom just dies because of these fucking construction idiots just yanking her out of the vehicle. So then she calls her dad, who's obviously estranged. Like, you can tell there's kind of a rift there, and basically says, Dad, Mom passed away. You know, you should come to the funeral. So he shows up, and you can tell that he hasn't seen her for a while, and he had they show some flashback of him walking out on her and basically kind of ignoring her when she looks at him and was like, Dad, where are you going? And he just kind of walks out, you know?
Well, it was years had to have passed because he didn't even recognize her.
Yeah.
At first.
Yeah, exactly. So,
and the tone of the flick kind of shifted too, from like being a really intense intro to kind of a little bit goofy when we see the dad.
Right. The dad's going about his sort of, his everyday kind of mundane life as a security guy. Like, he steals coffee from the bank, like little individual coffee packets. And so he has this kind of his own little thing going on. And it's, kind of a quirky as you'd expect from South Korean film, like a little bit quirky. And, we get to meet the characters, and you feel, he's kind of endearing. He's kind of a dummy, but he's very endearing. Like, you can tell, like, he means well, but he kind of was in a situation where maybe he didn't know what to do, or, he just kind of walked out and didn't really understand the ramifications of that on a young girl, So, and as is, as in like Train to Busan, there's a lot of emotional, especially in that one, there's a strong emotional connection between the daughter and the father. There's certainly a different kind of connection.
Yeah.
Where in this one, it's an estranged family, and he's trying to get back in her good graces, or he's trying to reconnect with her, I should say. Maybe not and get in her good graces, just reconnect with her. So, and all the while, this construction company is trying to get everyone out of here so they can tear it down. So it's. And then, the other thing, the important thing we forgot is at the beginning, the dad is he's at like a park, or he's hiking or something like that. And he goes to get some water, and they show like an asteroid, or like a meteor, I should say, fall, like, taint the water supply, and he drinks from it. Yeah. And all of a sudden kind of feels kind of weird. And so, we had that whole thing going on, and he's kind of dealing with feeling weird and what's going on. And, as he's trying to reconnect with his daughter and everything. So that's the basic setup, I guess. And you guys have anything to what'd you guys think?
Well, first of all, I'm a huge mark for any kind of like telekinetic or mind powers.
Sure.
Like telekinesis, speedsters, and archers are fucking in my wheelhouse. So I was pretty excited for this.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that, it's interesting because, we've obviously seen this explored with other characters, but this was kind of an interesting take on it, I thought, where it's just this kind of like nobody who's kind of down on his luck kind of life, and he gets these powers. And how is he going to use them? How is he going to deal with having these powers? And, it certainly helped him reconnect with his daughter in a way, because he was kind of able to fight back a little bit against this construction crew. But he still was, wasn't quite able to do it, like connect with her.
Well, I wonder. I mean, and there's definitely some things that has a Korean slant on it, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like not like what maybe an American mind might do with these kind of powers. Like he still kind of does things kind of like goofy.
Yeah. Like if this was
a little bit,
you could see that if this was probably like, an American movie, like I would imagine that the character would probably be a villain,
right.
and think about all the ways he could take advantage of it, and but yeah, this was just kind of like initially when he got it, he thought like, oh, here's my opportunity to finally make some money, and he goes and does like magic tricks,
right?
Works like a comedy club or something doing magic tricks, so he just kind of looks at it as a means to an end of like just kind of making a living, doesn't really see it as like as defining him,
Right. So it's not like I'm going to become a vigilante now. It was almost more like the original Peter Parker.
Right.
I'm a wrestler and make cash on
right.
my abilities.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a good.
That's what I really liked about this is the fact that in movies like Spider-Man, they make it like this. Parker gets bit by the spider, and it turns into this whole ordeal about him trying to change his life, I guess you could say, in trying to learn how to deal with the fact that he's a completely different person from this day forward.
Right.
And in this movie, it doesn't do that. It takes a little bit of time just to feel out, how is he going to deal with this newfound superpower that he has, like that scene where he's just sitting on the floor and he's trying to get the lighter to hit his head, and it hits him right in the fucking forehead.
Right.
I died laughing from that. It was cute. It was funny. It was jovial, and I enjoyed that. It wasn't taking itself too seriously, not like Train to Busan, which it was taken, with doses of comedy, but that movie was far more serious than this one. But as soon as he starts knowing that he has these powers, he starts using them, and what I like is that the unpredictability of what we are going to witness, because every move he makes has a different result.
Yeah.
They're the same result. They come out the same way, but the ending of them all is just different each and every single time. So, I mean, he could raise his hand and something would happen, but if he was to raise his hand and his palm was open, something different would happen. Mm-hmm. And I like that unpredictability in which anything goes as far as what this guy's power is and what he's capable of. And then he started becoming like the greatest South Korean hero, where he where
the greatest
he's
American hero, like
yeah. He knows how to use his powers, but he doesn't know how to control them.
Right, he learns as he goes.
Right, he's learning as he goes, and in terms of flying, especially, which I I fucking loved.
Yeah,
that was just great. Yeah. He's like the South Korean William Cat,
Really.
Yeah.
I expected him with a big ass white blonde afro, which really would have set the movie off.
Yeah. I love the greatest Korean American hero. But I think it put a good visual on the kind of mind power thing, where usually, I mean, sometimes you can have the guy just like, put his fingers on your helmet, your head, or strain like it. By having his body, like you said, jerk and twerk, it kind of like gave a new dimension to what he's doing. Maybe that was kind of more of the manga or like anime influence type thing. More Dragon Ball than,
Yeah, it certainly had like a Dragon Ball Z or a Mortal Kombat effect in his body movements,
stances,
and the
katas.
The results of those movements, and it was that part of it was fun, and him using the powers to help his daughter in trying to help his daughter against the evil corporation. What was the name of them?
I don't remember.
Tensys?
Tansai or something like that. I don't remember.
Tansai or something like that. Yeah. It was just overwhelming. It was just a lot of fun to watch. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the comments, Leanna says, anybody notice that Korean cinema seems to enjoy the underdog male character? I just see it a lot in The Host, The Wailing, Psychokinesis, Old Boy.
I think a lot of movies do that.
Yeah, it is definitely something that's pretty present in a lot of the South Korean movies that we've seen. I think it. One of the things, I mean, we can't know because we're not there. We don't live there. Like our boy Tim from Korea gave us some nice insight before, but there's a lot of social and political commentary going on in this movie and a lot of the other South Korean movies that we're not going to get that cultural sort of reflection because we just don't know, but you could tell that there's a lot of it here because especially with did you guys notice how like there was like a big thing about like having evidence, like recording or like whether it's audio or video? Like I wonder if there was something in South Korea with a case of that, because that seemed to be a very kind of present thing in the movie about like, oh, we better get evidence to prove it,
Well, yeah, man. I wanted to call like El Goro during the intro because I'm like, what's going on? Why, like, essentially, like, why are workers fucking people up? They don't they weren't like thugs. They weren't like I mean, they were thugs, but they weren't like a gang.
Right. It was a corporation basically.
And I couldn't figure out why people didn't really care. Like when the cops finally showed up to see the mother and there was a dead body, then maybe they were a little bit concerned.
Yeah, and there was like I think they said something about there was some like someone had dashboard camera, because they were looking for evidence, of something, and then that person didn't want to give their dashboard camera evidence or something. I don't remember. Like, but
they said the footage was doctored.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's just kind of nuts how like even footage that was captured is deemed not good enough.
Yeah, right.
So
and it's kind of creepy when you think about the social climate that they're showing, the political climate I meant to say, in this movie in comparison to what's going on here.
Yeah.
Because you have the police versus the common man.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a very strong aspect of this movie is, the police who are just ransacking through people left and right and claiming that the people who have nothing except for this one guy on their side who happened to drink water from a still that was hit by a meteor, it's just crazy. There's just the fuck, I lost my mind. I do this all the time.
One of the things we haven't talked about her at all, but there's one character, Director Hong.
Oh yeah,
who was fucking awesome. Like she was cool. One of the best villains.
I loved all the villains in this. I love.
She was a great villain.
I love Mr. Kim. Who I thought was oddly enough kind of funny at times. I liked his sidekick.
Yes. Min, I think it was Min, was it? Or Mr. Kim?
Like, he's pissed off that the accounting was fucked up.
Right. And his sidekick with the beard and
the long hair. I liked him.
Yeah.
I liked his reaction to the kids who were scared. Like, we want to quit. He's like, no, come on, you're fine.
I loved to hate Director Hong.
Oh my God, she was so hot.
Loved hating her.
She was so calculated and
like, young too, which pisses me off even more.
Why? Why does that piss you off?
Nah, because you get this young, 20-something, I would imagine.
Me too.
And the director of this huge corporation, and it's it just puts in your mind, how did she get there? Well, obviously
she probably fucking nefarious means. She'll fucking kill you.
Yeah, probably that too.
She was obviously smart and calculating and knew how to get to the top.
But to have that kind of power at that age is that just drives me up a fucking wall.
What that
Because
corporation
you're not smart enough to do it.
That's
Yeah.
right. I'm an
What
idiot.
that corporation should have done is give it to the guy that drives the fucking egg forklift.
Yeah. Hey, that guy works really hard. But that scene in the fucking restaurant was dope as fuck, though. That was just like
Which one?
the one when the meeting. The
Oh,
meeting.
in the conference.
Oh,
room.
in the
Oh, in
conference
the
room.
conference
Yeah.
room.
But was it a
Yeah.
restaurant?
That's
No,
No,
just
no, no,
because
no.
there's food there doesn't mean it's a restaurant.
that's
Oh well, I guess I'll fuck myself.
That's what brought
Yes.
that's what brought it up because Humbletti says the scene where director Hong records her alibi while she has the leader of the construction crew beat was hilarious and disturbing. So he's being like the head of this construction crew is being beaten because like he couldn't get the job done, and she is like has her voice recorder on her phone going. She's like, no, stop, don't do it. And she's just she's doing it as an alibi to say that she didn't tell him to do it. But it was the dichotomy of that, of what was appearing and what she was like saying was like really, really like well done. And it was pretty nuts.
And his boy couldn't do anything. He had to take the fucking beating.
Yeah. No, but she was such a great character. And even that scene where it's, where she's talking to Mr. Shin in prison.
Yeah.
Like even that scene was fucking great.
Yeah, she was fantastic.
Yeah, and she gives him the two options and then gives the business card. And she's like, what'd she say? Some people have like would kill for that card.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it was just so, such a cool scene. And she's such a cool character as well. I really loved her role in it.
I thought she was awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
she was great.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I thought this movie was boring.
Okay.
Like I like maybe boring's not fair. I would say aggressively mediocre. Like I think that there's might be a better movie in here that I didn't understand because like I agree with you. I feel like there was like a ton of like subtext and social commentary that was lost on me.
Sure. And that's a cultural,
but
difference. Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. Like that whole fucking greatest American hero shtick wasn't even funny for the entire running time of like the greatest American hero and like the bumbling hero thing. Like, it was just fucking like I don't know. I just felt and I felt like that. It could have got back if like the special effects were consistent, but I felt like they were super inconsistent. I felt like there was some really good. There was some really cool telekinetic stuff there. I have no problem with all the people getting thrown around stuff. Like I thought all that stuff looked good, and but there was a lot of stuff that just looked like garbage in this movie.
It was mostly when he was doing telekinesis with objects and they were lifting, like that did look a little rough at times. And there was some stuff.
And him flying.
Yeah, I thought for the most part that looked okay. There was some of it though that looked a little rough. But I mean, I don't know. I caught a break to some movies when, because that's not the. I don't think that's the focus of it, or maybe it's a lack of a budget or something like that. So
it's South Korea.
But, I mean,
if it was American, they would have put about $30 million into the special effects budget alone.
That's a dumb excuse though, because like look at all the great fucking special effects movies that Korea has made in our lifetime. Like some of the brilliant subtlety of like I Saw the Devil. Like nobody put $30 million, $1 billion, or whatever ludicrous $30,000. Like they are fucking the state of the art in my opinion in a lot of cases, especially in cinematography, which is another way I felt that this movie was like very flaccid. It looked like a 70s Disney movie, which at times I felt was maybe by intent. But I don't know. I just like maybe my fucking nerd panties are showing, but like I feel like I feel like this was just kind of like fucking remedial superhero stuff. Like I felt like this was like so uninteresting. And it's funny. Like Monster Zero was talking about like what happens in the normal arc of a superhero. Like having the power like mean something. And this character like this character just fucking changed on a dime. Like, granted, his daughter was like in trouble, but like, not on a dime. Like, I feel like it was in between, right? Like, if he had changed on a dime, you might not have even noticed it. but I felt like his kind of change of heart didn't come very organically. I felt like he was kind of just a fucking ne'er-do-well, and then he was a fucking hero.
No, well, because he always wanted to help. He just didn't understand to what extent he could help. And when he ran back in, he didn't understand that he could use those powers to physically help that situation. It was only in defense did he learn that his powers could do good.
Yeah, I was okay
I just
with
hated that guy. He was a boring asshole. I like the villain in this movie like that. Like I wish the movie was about her. Like this everyone in this movie was massively like unlikable.
I totally disagree. I mean, for me, I thought that the protagonists were likable and the antagonists were villains. You know, like I think it was pretty cut and dry. But I think the thing for me that really sells it was this wasn't a superhero movie. No. It was a movie that had someone with powers. Yeah. You know, so that's
semantics, though.
Well, I mean, it's not Unbreakable.
It's Unbreakable. It's Powder. It's the one with John Travolta there.
Phenomenon,
yeah.
What does Phenomenon have to do with this?
Was he an angel?
That's a movie about a fucking angel.
No, that was Michael.
Michael, that's right.
Yeah, Michael was the angel.
Michael.
Phenomenon, he was having a brain hemorrhage or something.
That's right.
But didn't they both have powers, though?
He thought he had powers in Phenomenon.
Okay. But he didn't?
No, it was a brain hemorrhage.
Oh, spoiler alert.
Yeah, watch to the end.
Oh. Fuck.
I mean, this was much better than that lousy Russian movie we watched at the end of the year.
Oh, Guardians.
But
just don't watch it with the subtitles.
But I don't know. I just feel like this was kind of nothing going on. I wonder if part of it, and we made a joke about it last week, was that culturally, and I'm going to put this bluntly, and I don't mean this as like an insulting thing, because it's certainly a weakness of mine. But I feel like culturally, maybe they don't know how to make an hour-and-a-half movie and get all what they're trying to say down.
It is funny. This was probably the shortest South Korean movie that I can remember watching in the last few years. Most of them are at least over 2 hours, maybe 2 hours, 10 minutes, 2 hours, 20 minutes, 2.5 hours. And this was kind of a brisk, hour, 41 minutes. So it certainly was different. But, I think for me, the pacing felt fine. Everything felt fine about this. So it didn't, like maybe there was a longer cut of it that had a little bit more explanation as to what's going on. So I don't know.
Do you think Netflix cut it? If there was,
I mean, it's possible, but I don't know why you'd cut a Netflix movie. It's not like people are going out to the theater. You can watch it from home. Yeah, true, so right. I don't know why that they would necessarily, unless they just said like, hey, we need a cut of this long or something. I don't know.
Yeah, they may have said, here's the money. I wonder if their money was up front or they bought it. That's an interesting element of that conversation. They might have said, hey, here's some money for production. But, Americans, which is wrong, but Americans don't want a 3-hour action movie, which I guess the fucking world just said fuck you to that idea. But
Right. There's in the chat room, David says the dialogue was bad, almost unfollowable for him.
I agree. I agree 100%.
It's always hard for me. The dialogue does matter in foreign speaking films, but you just never know if it's a bad translation,
right,
or something like that. So I give movies with subtitles. I typically give them a bit of a pass on things like that. You could still have good dialogue and have it be, in a different language, or you can still have bad dialogue. But I do give it some leeway with that. So I didn't necessarily think that, but.
Words mean certain things, but they have different kind of connotation.
Sure.
Like the down tits like thing. I will say though, this is fucking Netflix, right? It's not even like Tarzan Agent Extreme, like or like fan slubs. Like I'd like to think that. People have their shit together at fucking Netflix. I guess. But they gave fucking Adam Sandler a 9-movie deal, so maybe they don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
So let's see. Let's start to wind things down here. I thought the riot scene toward the end was shot really well. Like I think when you see the police start coming in with the riot shields and the riot gear,
the overhead shots.
Yeah, like I thought a lot of that was really well done, the way that they do it, and
it was very good. Although I felt it felt very confined down that one street. It kind of took me out of the reality of it all. I mean, when you
that was
got
the whole point of it. That it's all
it was
about
just that
this one alley
block. Yeah, one.
No, I understand that, but something like that you think would spill out, and not just stay confined into one small.
Why would it spill out? The people with fucking bottles would push the riot squad back.
I just when I think of riots, man, I don't think of it just.
Yeah, but it wasn't. It was
lasting on one street where you got military tanks.
It was a battle for that specific spot.
I know that, but what I'm saying is that I think. Shut up. But what I'm saying is that I think it just.
Wow. I think someone's getting dragged out of the parking lot after the show. But go on.
I just think riots spill out into other areas.
This
it just
wasn't a riot.
But the people only wanted that place.
Yeah.
But why would they fucking go around the corner and fucking fight at a different place?
It all depends.
Anything to win.
It all depends on who.
Anything
to
win. Look at fucking General fucking Custer.
There was.
I don't want to look at him.
Let's say 20 store owners in that alley. Mm-hmm. So you have 20 to 30 people fighting against 100 cops.
Yep.
So what's the spillover?
I just
it's
think
not
that
like the average citizen's walking by going, "Oh, look, they're fighting the cops. I'm going to join in."
No, I just think that something like that. I just feel like
also have to remember Monster Zero that they probably eliminated they were trying to build a bigger thing here, so that the only people might have been in that area.
Yeah, I think most people had left, and it was just the people who wanted to stay and fight. Like I love the.
I don't know. Say you guys can say what you want. I just think it felt kind of weird.
You guys can tell all the truth you want. I'm just gonna decide this arbitrarily.
They built their wall. They were standing their ground.
Right.
There was no one else to back them up. That was essentially a retreat.
Sorry, Celtics just won their series.
Oh, yeah. I was like, I didn't say anything that good.
I thought
Aries, beautiful point.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry, I had it on my on my phone.
Go Celtics.
I mean, maybe I'm the only one who saw this throughout this. Well, not throughout this, but at the end, with the barrier, Les Mis. Anyone? No, nothing. No one cultured.
No, I didn't see that.
No,
I wasn't in those classes.
No, I wasn't in those classes.
I must have been watching Necromantic during that time.
It's the French, so you know what? So, but
the French,
Yes.
champagne.
No, but I mean they built a barrier to stand their ground.
Did that movie have anyone with telekinesis?
No. I didn't say it was an exact parallel.
Now, that had Logan in it, right? That Hugh Jackman, he should have busted out some claws and fucking cut some people up. He should always wear claws.
So you should have seen it. Hugh Jackman.
Well, I'll see.
And
after Avengers.
Less miserable.
I almost said Russell Brand.
Russell
Crowe.
That'd be awesome.
You're not going to win either way.
Actually, no.
And Borat, too, right?
I think, isn't that Russell Brand? He's in that.
No, Russell Brand was the one that dated Katy Perry.
I don't do that shit.
Yeah,
don't.
Why are you bringing that up?
I don't know anything. But
Why? All right.
Poor Katy Perry.
Movie aside, the stage play is outstanding.
No.
I can't picture you at Les Mis.
I absolutely
cannot picture that.
I love Les Mis.
Holy shit! How much of this shit did you drink?
Pull up the soundtrack. I will sing it.
Right, no more drugs for this man. Sing a fucking song. Sing a verse. Give me something.
Yeah.
Something.
I can't sing it cold.
Obviously trying to get the lady.
I mean, you know what? Amateur reference 24601. 24601.
What are those lucky numbers?
Zip code?
That's Jean Valjean's prison number. That gets referenced all the time in pop culture.
Wow. I'm blown away.
What, TK421? Why ain't no post?
THX 1138.
Wait. What's the number again?
24601.
24601.
Yes.
Okay.
Isn't that the sector of space?
And when I say I mean 0, so don't type in O.
No,
I'm calling that right.
Mars is calling it right now.
867-5309. Everyone fucking knows.
24601.
my
Look
parents-
Down. Song by convicts. Hugh Jackman and Russell Crowe.
Oh.
Okay. All right. You might know something after
Really,
all.
oh my God. What? You doubted me?
You have any reason why I shouldn't?
Do you have any reason why you should?
Yeah.
Name.
You're
Name
Aries.
another example that I lied.
You're Aries.
Name an example that I
He's
lied.
not the god of lies.
I didn't
Yeah,
say
don't
he's lying.
get him
I said
started. He once said I lie all the time, but couldn't come up with one example. He couldn't even come up with as many examples as he came up with movies then.
When did I say you lied?
No, not you.
Oh.
Monster Zero.
When did I say
I'm
all
defending
fuck
you,
him.
jackalope. Wait, who did you just say fuck him to?
What?
Zero.
What?
I'm defending you.
Yeah, I know that. That's why I said fuck him.
Oh.
Wow.
Right.
I
He's
did
the one who fucking the riot expert there.
The Riot Squad.
I also loved the scene where he breaks out of prison. I thought that was fucking awesome.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah. It was even just starting with when he like steals a dude's phone,
Yeah.
when he's in the cell, and just that whole thing I thought was really well done. Although I do have to ask, he has to have some sort of invulnerability, right?
I was thinking about TK Shield.
When he fell?
Oh, okay.
You're talking about like Lisa when he fell?
Yeah,
He fell from really high up.
Yeah.
like Marvel Boy would do that. Like I think he just, I'm rationalizing it that he subconsciously had like a telekinetic shield around him.
Superboy, right?
Yeah,
Has
exactly.
it too, right?
Yeah. Connell, where he uses his telekinesis, tactile telekinesis. When he
Connell?
Connell is yeah.
Like Connell Cochran?
Don't.
Will you throw him out the fucking window, please?
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
Just don't.
I just want to make sure I'm understanding. It was a dead end, right?
What?
Like the people were marching towards a dead end. Like those guys had their back to like a wall.
It was an alley.
Right. Where are they gonna fucking go? Man,
The back
it
door.
makes me so mad.
There's always a back door.
Where are they gonna go?
The
They
back
can't
door.
spill out.
The back door.
They're going one way.
Hey, I'm just telling you, I thought it was just weird. That's all.
What was weird? Oh, that
You're
more people
weird.
didn't join in for the fight.
No, not that more people.
Would you
joined
walk
in for
by
the
and
fight.
join a riot?
Yeah, I feel
He
like
wouldn't
getting violent every now and again.
Taunts it. Like he's not gonna join a riot.
Now, mind you, you're walking by. You're on the back end of the police force.
Mm-hmm.
Are you just going to shimmy your way to the front and join that riot? Pardon me, officer. Excuse me.
No,
Pardon me.
but
Coming through. I just want
No, but I'll record
I just
it.
want to
Riot.
join the scuffle up front.
No, I wouldn't join in, but I'd record it, have a few laughs, grab a Dr.
Okay.
Pepper, and go home.
But so who would join in? Why would this riot get larger?
I don't mean.
You
get
said that.
No, I didn't.
You did.
No, I didn't. I
Someone-
never said it
anyone?
would get larger.
Back me up.
I never said
That's exactly what you said.
that. Is not
Thank
what
you.
I said.
That's quote.
I never
You
said
said
that.
it would spill over.
Bring back the tape.
It would spill over. Yes, it
Can we
would
do
not
that?
get
Do we have that
larger.
What does that mean?
It would go out into other areas of the city,
It's
into other
confined
streets.
into an alley. How would
I
it
just
When the
spill
felt it was
FBI
weird. I just felt it was weird.
The
that's
FBI
all.
attacked like Waco.
Have you
It
ever
didn't
been in a
fucking the
riot?
town didn't fucking
You
join
think I
it.
give a shit about what happened to those fuckers in Waco?
Have you ever been in a riot?
I can't
not
say
even
that I
a riot.
have. No.
Then how do you know how it acts and responds?
But it wasn't a riot though.
It kind of was.
It wasn't a riot. It was
It was kind of
it was a
like a siege.
It was a
siege.
battle,
Like
yeah.
A
You got it right, Raven
siege
Shadow.
or protest.
Right? Yeah.
Raven Shadow got it right.
Right. It's like fucking whatever the fuck.
I mean, it could be classified as a riot too, as soon as it got out of control.
I mean, you got military tanks there. You got the police there.
all right. So civil.
No, there's no military.
It was the
No, they were
police.
the 5-0. Way federal.
Those were
the
armored
militia.
transports. Those weren't tanks.
Why did the shields have English?
I don't know.
Isn't that weird?
It had English and Korean.
Yeah, but
If they're
Why
in,
not?
If they're in Korea, why do they have English lettering?
thank you.
English
To,
words.
to make sure
A
everyone
lot of-
understands.
Right. Perfect.
Yeah. A lot of countries have
Mhm.
like I don't know. English is just kind of like the idiot's fallback, really. At the end of the day.
Because
Yep.
you know what? You go to any country and you want to contain an idiot, chances are they're American.
It's a blank slate. English is a blank slate language, man.
That's fair. Yeah.
Got to control the Americans.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I can't believe the
Spaceballs.
two motherfuckers that speak the worst English ever are talking about how easy English is, but me and Moss are zero. But
All right, so what else? Oh, yeah, so Pabst in the chat room, let me just find it. He says psychic inertial dampeners.
That's a good band name.
Yeah.
Hello, Lucky Dog. We are psychic inertial dampeners.
I don't know. All I understood was dampeners.
Is that what he's saying?
Okay, what does dampeners mean?
Damp. A wet diaper. I don't know.
It's like a humidifier, but damper.
Damper.
I don't know anything.
Damper.
Like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That's a place that sucks. Tampa Bay. I hated it. I hated Tampa Bay. I don't know if people were racist, but it sucked down there.
The damper rays.
It was hot.
The Tampa Bay Rays.
It's hot, and it was like Route 20.
Can I put my vote in for episode title right now?
What would that vote be? Tampa Bay?
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
How do you spell Dampa?
I have no idea. That's your job.
D-A-M-P-A-A.
I think it would be Tampa, but with a D.
Yeah, damper.
Tampa Bay.
D-A-M-P-A-H. Damper.
Can we get back to this movie?
No, this is great. I'm loving this.
Christ.
Oh, man.
Tampa.
And before we head to the verdict, one other thing I want to talk about is I don't want to necessarily give too much away, but this was sort of a not a happy ending that kind of was a happy ending.
I'd call this a happy ending.
I love the ending too. But
I did.
But you thought that there was maybe a false ending where if it went this way, it was a kind of a downer ending. But then it kind of picks up, you know?
I think the final shot culminated into a really happy ending.
Yeah.
I just really liked it.
Was it Super Chicken? Was that?
Yeah.
It ended pretty much exactly how I thought it was going to end.
Yeah, lame.
See, I didn't. I thought it was going to have a...
I wouldn't call it lame.
Nihilistic ending? I didn't think...
It ended like a fucking American sitcom.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Sit down and chew your toes.
Crazy old telekinetic.
It's just Benson.
No.
It's just Benson.
No, I loved how it ended, man. It just ended on a happy
dumb
note.
old sitcoms.
I do. It ended on a happy note.
Cut it out.
You know, it was almost, you know, it was almost like, you know, TGI Fridays, you know, it was almost like on that Family Matters sort of level, you know. The only thing is you don't have Urkel in the movie.
The thing that I liked is it almost kind of spoke to like how inept, or not necessarily inept, but like there was the ramifications of what the fight was over and how that ended. It's like you were willing to kill people, and this is what happened, you know. Like that just speaks to like the red tape and how corporations are sort of run.
All that
was
the ending.
for me. That was the thing that I really kind of like that, because it you don't typically. And Mars says this was a Hollywood ending. I disagree. That's not the kind of thing that happens in a Hollywood ending.
No,
Hollywood
ending.
I actually like that aspect of it, where they had, you know, sort of what happened to the land they were fighting over.
A Hollywood ending would give it a
he wouldn't have gone to prison.
Well, no, I think it would have gone to prison, but I also think that it would have ended the way it did. But then there would have been something going on, say like during the end credits or maybe even after the credits, to show that hey, you know what, things aren't over yet. There's going to be a sequel.
Well, I mean, at the risk of saying a spoiler, a Hollywood ending would have had the evil corporation being taken care of.
Yeah.
But I thought it was funny too that, I mean, and once again, we're borderline spoilers, but we said he went to prison. Like that wouldn't have, like, there was no like special device built to contain him.
Right. Which,
You know,
yeah,
like
yeah,
it's just like,
yeah.
okay, I'll give myself up.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Can we talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers initiative? Is that the ending?
You're part of a larger world. You've been signed for the Tampa Bay. Free agent, just not in Boston.
All right. Anyone else have anything else before we head to the verdict? A yawn. Okay.
Yeah, yawn.
I guess
winter.
I mean.
Yeah, no, just go to the verdict.
Trick or treat, baby. I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right. Verdict time. We'll let you know whether this flick was a trick or a treat and any final thoughts we may have. Marsman.
Click.
Trick.
Trick. There you go. MZ.
I enjoyed this. It's not a perfect film by any stretch, but I enjoyed it for what it was. It was fun. It was fun to watch, and some unpredictability going on in there, but I enjoyed it. And yeah, this is a trick. I'll give this a trick. Not as good as Train to Busan.
Whoa, slow down.
Slow down.
You
Think about what you're saying.
Use your words.
You said trick.
Sorry. Sorry. Nope.
That's like an old MZ review. Oh, I love this. It was awesome. Trick. Fuck this movie.
Okay. No, I meant to say trick.
You meant to say treat?
No, it's a treat. It's a treat.
My
Not as good as Train to Busan.
Yeah.
But it is worth watching.
All right, Aries.
I mean, yeah, this movie wasn't perfect by any means. It did have its flaws. I didn't like
Thank you for copying what I just said.
Oh, yeah. No. Thank you. I was taking notes.
Aries is pissed at you still. He's so upset.
Oh, yeah. Your ass is so toast when the show's over. Well, welcome to MZ's last episode.
This is your life.
No, I didn't like that the main character was also the main comic relief of the movie. I mean, you had an action comedy where the main star was the comedy of it, and it wasn't that. I mean, it was comical, but it wasn't that good, and the action beyond beyond the climax of it, the action wasn't that good either.
Yeah, it wasn't a ton of action. Really.
Yeah. So I mean, calling it action comedy, that's a stretch, but
yeah, I wouldn't.
It is. I mean, it's a good watch. I am not, as I've said 100 times before, I'm not a fan of the subtitles. Jesus, they drive me fucking nuts. I just want to watch a movie and I want to read.
Oh wow.
Because you know what? I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, there were a lot of subtitles that disappeared before I finished them.
They were very quick. They were quick.
I mean, I'm stubborn. I'm not going to rewind.
Fuck it.
I'm comfortable on the couch. Fuck it. That disappeared.
You don't
quickly.
have a fucking remote?
Remote's in my hand.
I got the remote, but that shit's on the ottoman.
Too bad you have psychokinesis. You could grab the remote just
and press rewind. But no, fuck it. If it disappeared that quickly, it wasn't that important.
Yep, there you go. Fuck you, Korea.
Yep.
Jesus.
So Aries
Wow.
says.
But
I didn't say that. Aries said that.
But all in all, it was a treat. Check it out.
All right, Raven Shadow.
Yeah, I agree with what these guys said. I
You want to read my notes?
Yeah,
Here you
your
go.
notes. No, it's kind of good. It's like Fisher Price, my first Korean film. It's a nice
fucking
run
love
length.
that saying.
It's good. Going to the well. But no, I did enjoy it. Like I said, I'm a mark for telekinetic powers. It definitely was no Train to Busan, by any stretch. But I did dig it, and I recommend it. And check it out.
All right.
Yeah. What Treat's the good one?
Yeah, it sure is. All right, I'm also going to say treat on this one. I think without the genre trappings, this wasn't quite as interesting as Train to Busan. Like, that was kind of more in our wheelhouse.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
I mean, obviously, we do love superhero movies too, but, this is mostly deal with horror movies. But I think it still had the emotional impact and the social and cultural commentary I've come to expect from most South Korean cinema. I did like the different take on the superhero film, though. This was a film that featured someone with superpowers, not a superhero film which has a typical formula, and I did appreciate that.
And it didn't dick around. Fine. Alien shit comes to Earth, dude drinks it.
Right,
done.
right.
That's
The
all you
origin
need to
is
fucking
the origin's literally a minute,
Right.
if that.
know. If you were looking at your phone, you would have missed it.
Yeah.
This
I
is the
think I
Korean
did.
Super Fuzz.
Because he mentioned his wife, and I'm like, his wife gave him the powers?
Yeah, right. It took me a minute to even figure out he was the same guy because he was so like,
Well,
humpity dumpity do.
by the simple fact that he looked the same.
No. But like when it went from the kind of like stark contrast to the opening scene
Oh.
to then, goofball. Jackie
He was a
Chan.
goofball throughout the whole damn movie.
yeah.
There is some slight similarities to Super Fuzz in this movie. Now that I think
Yeah,
about
I
it.
didn't even think about that now that you mention it, though.
Yeah.
Just to finish up, it seems that Yeon Sang-ho enjoys taking popular genres and turning them on their head a little bit. I also did, as we talked about, enjoy the ending. We got a kind of not-so-happy ending that ended up turning kind of happy and different. So, yeah, overall, I did enjoy this. This was a treat. It's certainly not his best film. I mean, of the ones that I've seen, Train to Busan is an outstanding film. But if you're looking for something that's not quite the typical superhero fare and you like the South Korean style of film, I think that this is a film worth checking out. And it is on Netflix, so it's essentially free. You know, if you're looking for something to do, pop this on. And it's, it's pretty brisk, hour 41 minutes. So, listen to what we had to say and choose your favorite host's opinion and go with it. So, all right. Well, next week we are going to get a little bit more back into genre films.
Genre de pas deux.
Genre, yeah. And we are going to be discussing a movie that it actually played at Boston Underground Film Festival. And I did not get a chance to see it there. But I've heard a lot of good buzz, and it's actually going to be appearing on Shudder in 2 days from now.
Nice.
On May 11th. And the name of the film is Revenge. It is an action thriller, and they have a great trailer out for it. They just released it today, I believe, and it basically has comments from like chauvinistic YouTube comments.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
What?
It's sort of
kind of the joke ones that we've done, but actually like using it for real.
No, it's actual like sexist men commenting on a movie that is about like a woman who I assume gets revenge. I mean, there's a woman on the poster, and the movie's called Revenge, so I assume it's sort of a revenge tale with her. And so guys were like, "Oh, screw this female empowerment shit." That's what. So like you can see like as they're playing the trailer, there's comments of like when you typically get like. This movie is the best horror movie in years.
Right,
these quotes.
Yeah.
The quotes were from YouTube commenters who were, sexist pigs.
That's right.
Basically
Wow.
saying, this movie looks stupid. It's got a female. Blah 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 blah. And they're showing like this female kick ass.
What
So,
an interesting ad campaign. I love that.
yeah, it's
Wow.
pretty interesting. I'd recommend checking out the trailer for
Holy
it.
shit,
Wow.
yeah.
I hope it was none of my comments.
Yeah.
Ares, God of War.
By the way, I hate fucking reading subtitles. This is no Les Mis.
So we are gonna watch Revenge.
If she was a man, this movie would be better.
If it was a man, it wouldn't need revenge. That's what guys say now.
Creepy Girl says, "Oh my God, I want to see that. Is that next week's movie, Revenge?" Yes, we're reviewing. We're going to be discussing Revenge, and it will be on Shudder. I believe it's a Shudder exclusive, so I don't know if it's going to be elsewhere. But go ahead and give it a look, and it'll be available on May 11th, so you can check it out. And we'll be talking about that next week. This is from Neon Films, and looking forward to checking out Revenge. So. All right. Well, we are going to head to a break in just a second here, and then we come back. We actually have we're going to do our double taps, and then we have some voicemail from some folks, and we'll get to that. So we'll be back in how long, MZ?
Oh, 2 and 2.
The following message is a paid advertisement for the Cult of Muscle podcast. The Cult of Muscle. You're either in it or you're dead.
It's the dawning of a new age. The halls of Valhalla have been shuttered. The heroes of yore have either retreated to the shadows or taken to capering for the amusement of the small folk. Their past glory is a distant memory. The barbells have been torn from their once puma-strong grips, the beards showing from their square jaws, only to be transplanted onto flannel-clad, puny weaklings with fingers barely powerful enough to strum a ukulele. The time has come, my brothers, to restore order from the chaos. No longer will our heroes be forgotten. No longer will their great deeds be viewed through a foggy lens of irony. Hear now our rallying cry as we scream it from the mountaintops, as we bellow it from iTunes and Libsyn and Facebook. It's time to join the cult, my brothers. So don your cloaks and enter the cult of muscle.
I'm Alex West.
And I'm Andrea Subasati, and we're from the Faculty of Horror podcast.
And you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
Oh, delicious nerds. Ms. M knows you like to chat it up with other sexy shut-ins about comics, movies, video games, and your favorite TV shows. If that sounds like you, cuddle up to the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group, or the FIB. That stands for Fan Interaction Board. Just go to Facebook and search for Trick or Treat Radio and have more fun than a Jedi at a lightsaber sale. Not enough? Watch us on YouTube, The Deadites TV, all one word. Last but not least, check out the world's most dangerous talk radio show, Trick or Treat Radio, at trickortreatradio.com.
Hey there, this is R.A. Salvatore, call me Bob, and you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
You go through your week with the same old routine.
What you really want is some blood and thunder in your life.
Well, friend, you found it.
The Cromcast is an adventurous journey through the history of two-fisted pulp stories.
With your hosts John,
Josh,
and Luke.
We have action,
horror,
and adventure, all through the lens of pulp luminary Robert E. Howard.
Don't just stay in your ordinary life.
Find your pulp life at thecromcast.blogspot.com.
The Cromcast.
The Cromcast.
The Cromcast.
A podcast for the barbarian at heart.
Yeah, because I'm trying to get the show going. What are you talking about? It's good to have guys like that? What are we saying?
I'm talking about for the purpose of the way this movie is being promoted.
That's not.
It's nice to know there are fucking awful people in the world that we can exploit for movie ad campaigns.
Hey, if they're awful people, what's wrong with exploiting them?
But why is it good that they exist?
It's not good that they exist. But if they
That's what you just said.
No, but if they do exist, what's wrong with exploiting them?
No,
what's wrong with exploiting? What's wrong with exploiting bad
nothing.
people?
They should be gutted and have their fucking flesh boiled for soap.
Because I think
that. I wish you guys in the chat could have heard this fucking amazing conversation that was going on off air. It was like incredible. It was like fucking amazing.
So MZ watched the new trailer for Revenge.
Yeah.
And so, he was just seeing how they use all these comments from YouTubers, just, kind of sexist YouTubers. And you said that good thing that people like this exist?
For the sake of this trailer and its ad campaign. That's what I mean.
Yeah, how many...
it's incredible how you pick apart what I say. It's absolutely astonishing how you guys pick apart what I say. Find the little things. Be quiet. Find the little things that I'm saying and then twist them. It's absolutely astonishing.
Yeah, but the first thing you said is it's good that people like this exist.
Yeah, and what? Yeah. You know what? And I said stuff after that
for
too.
A marketing campaign.
For the sake of this marketing campaign to not only promote the movie but also to show how much of a douchebag a lot of these YouTubers are and how sexist they are.
Look at this fucking social justice motherfucker.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. My name is Musta Zero.
Maybe you can fucking save the volcanoes from Grafton next.
Well, if they ever get over here, I'll get to work on it immediately.
Oh, motherfucker. I am so glad.
Cecil says, MZ, take the fifth.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Has everybody
Yeah.
lost their mind?
You have.
Wolfie.
Just you. Yes, Mars.
Wolfie.
Yes, Mars. Yes,
I'm
Mars.
so glad there are terribly awful racist people in the world, so Childish Gambino can make that video.
That's essentially what you said, MZ.
It helps. It helps. Childish. Is that really his name? Childish Gambino.
Yeah, that's his birth name.
That's his artistic name.
Yeah,
his okay.
It's Donald Glover, man.
All right. Donald Glover. Danny
fucking
His
Glover.
dad is real name.
Lando Calrissian, motherfucker.
Okay, well, whatever.
I
What
wish
are your kids' names?
I wish you guys should. You guys should
Frank,
not go.
Childish Gambino.
You guys should not go smoke because this
Yeah,
fucking dude dropped a bomb.
What was the bomb?
Last time you missed Batman.
Well, we already talked about it though.
Oh.
I don't know if I want to talk about it again.
Motherfucker.
You guys missed it.
Oh my god.
Well, what do you say?
Well,
I'm
they
glad
they
the
get
Ku Klux
offended. They get offended easily.
No,
what'd you
we're
say?
not
We don't-
offended. He said. Okay, so he watched. I'll say it again. I said it already to the
All right,
listeners.
I'll tell you what.
They're gonna
I'll
hear
say
it
it
again.
to save you the trouble.
All right, you better
I
tell
watched-
it right.
I watched the trailer for next week's film,
Okay.
Revenge,
All right.
and it was the trailer that had all the comments made
Sexist
by
comments.
The
Sexy comments?
Yeah.
Sexist.
Ist. What's wrong with being sexy?
Tomato.
And I said it's a good thing that, for the sake of this film, for the sake of the promotion of this film, it's a good thing that these people exist.
No. You said it's a good
all right.
thing that people like this exist.
What did I just say?
Or you said it the
For
other way
sake-
around.
Oh, for crying out loud.
It makes a difference because that's the first thing that's in your head.
Oh my God! Is this guy lost? Has this guy completely? I think your bun's too tight.
What's what I was thinking? I love American. I love American History X, so I'm so glad that neo-Nazis existed, so that film could be made.
Exactly. That's exactly the point. That's exactly the point.
Schindler's List was
No.
great, but thank God there were concentration camps because that was a very powerful film and won awards. Still not going to fucking Germany.
Thank God there's racists in the world to make them so that a movie like Get Out exists.
Exactly, you know.
Right.
Think about I Spit in Your Grave. Thank God. Jiminy crickets.
No. That's to tell a story. That's completely different. That's to tell a story. This is for promotion of a film. Okay? It's completely different.
Well, I think they took.
Yeah, but it's still the fact that those horrible people exist, and you're glad about it.
Oh God!
You know who we should thank, Wolfie?
What?
You know who we should thank?
Who?
If his parents hadn't named him Childish Gambino, he probably would not be so autistic. Is that his real name?
Yes.
Oh my God!
Honey, here's my list.
Well, hey, I've heard more stupid names than that. So,
Monster Zero.
Monster Zero.
Wowzers.
I heard more names like that. Like somebody named their kid Prince.
yeah, Michael Jackson did.
What?
Well, he did, but he's got his own problems.
Wow.
Thank God there are sexist bastards out there.
I'm so glad that they have destroyed the rainforest, so we could make such good movies.
Thank God we got Fern Gully.
Right.
I'm
We
just
probably
happy he's on the show, so regardless of what offensive thing I say, he will just top me and it'll all go away.
Yes.
Thing is, I don't even have to try hard, apparently.
No, you don't.
Pap says, I think the countdown to Bradish's has made MZ say crazy things. Yeah, when's our Bradish's open?
Oh,
MZ?
shit, film that. I want MZ going to
that his-
Bradish for the first time.
Oh, yes.
That's fucking premium content.
They open up, what was it, Memorial Day?
Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah,
Let's go.
the Saturday.
Oh.
Memorial Day, yeah.
I'm worried about Monsters here. I'm very worried about him.
How come?
Because he's in not very good fighting shape right now, and Bradish's is fucking slammed. Steel Clink Alcatraz closed. Like, can you
Really?
fucking stop Bradish's all the time?
You're going to throw that stone?
I am.
How many
the
sodas
lightest
deep
I've-
are you right now?
Huh?
How many sodas
I
deep?
have had this. I just started my first soda. Actually, I wasn't gonna brag about it, but you would be very proud of me.
Bullshit.
No, I'm telling you, man.
Bullshit.
I'm telling you.
Well, wait. What did you have to drink before this first soda that you're having right now?
Kraken.
Coffee. Black.
Okay. Black.
Bullshit.
Yeah, there's no cream here. I didn't do it on purpose.
Bullshit.
What?
Jesus, wow.
You,
No, I don't
extra cream, extra sugar. Screw it. Forget the coffee.
I
Just
didn't-
cream and sugar.
Screw it, just sugar.
There isn't any here. I didn't get it. I made it in the coffee machine.
Okay.
No, like, yeah, no,
bullshit.
I
You can figure out how to work a coffee machine.
No, it's pretty simple. I am pretty.
Wait,
I am dedicated to my weight loss right now because I am gonna wrestle next year. That is my goal. Everybody has a goal. My goal is to wrestle 3 more times next year.
Okay, so you want to lose weight?
Yep.
Yes? You're talking to the mic.
Yes.
Yes. Then stop drinking soda.
Yeah,
I
stop
am drinking soda.
Yeah, I know you're drinking soda. I'm telling you to stop drinking soda.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to stop cold turkey.
No, you can't.
Drink whiskey instead.
I'm not
Right.
trying to lose weight.
But yeah, no, I'm not, like, I don't know. I know I'm offended that you haven't noticed my girlish figure as of late, but I am
We saw your boobs.
I'm as small as I've been in years. I missed it. Fuck.
He said, we saw your boobs.
So your boobs too the other day.
Yeah,
You calling me
I am
fat?
at the.
Oh, you're a hot.
Yeah.
Well, who the fuck are you fat fuck?
Hey.
Wow.
I'm not so worried about the fat. I'm worried about how red your face gets when you laugh.
Who are you talking to?
Monster Zero.
Okay.
I get. You know what? It's weird about me. I have very high body heat. I do. I have extremely high body
Brian
heat.
Palmer up this bitch.
I mean, I heat up a bed like you read about.
You've also blacked out from laughing.
That's your own joke. It's true. It is true.
Yeah, and I almost died, and these two yolks fucking just, and here I am passed out.
We didn't fucking know.
Yeah.
You have 3 fucking monitors in front of you, and you don't see
And
me
how many
passing out.
and how many things do I take care of?
Yeah, and how often
Right.
is it
Yeah.
on the screen?
Yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah, but you were laughing, and all of a sudden you were like,
It was very
I thought you
subtle.
were I thought you were fucking laughing still.
Oh, I gotta pee.
What the fuck?
Try not to black out
But
while you're
4
doing
more
it.
pounds, you guys.
Wowzers.
I might have I might have put on some shitty weight over the last couple days because I didn't feel very good and didn't, but probably not 5 pounds. Like I'm close to flirting with 210 right now.
Most people lose weight when they get sick.
Jesus Christ.
I know when I get sick, I don't eat. Like, how do you gain weight when you're sick?
My metabolism, I think I fucked it up at some point. I think I literally have to like really exercise to lose any weight at all.
Yes. You're not breaking any ground there.
because I burnt my face, so I didn't exercise.
You burped your face?
For like 4 days. Yeah, I did. I have been out walking a lot, and I don't really have summer clothes, so I had my Irish walking cap on and, you know, my very light sweatshirt on, and so I was pretty well covered. But my eyes, like my mouth to my, like wherever my beard is up to my, like, eyebrows got, like, terribly sunburned.
Oh, shit.
So, like, I've just been fucking miserable. I can't read because I can't put my glasses on. Like, it's just not a good couple of days.
Can you explain an Irish walking cap?
An Irish walking cap? Do a Google image search, sir. I think you have one.
You're wearing one right now.
This is a scally cap. This is a walking cap.
Well, I mean,
I bet you if you put Irish walking cap, that would come up too. Like it's not that outrageous. Like
I've never actually heard that term before, and I would hazard a
goes
guess.
To show how.
I don't know if an Irishman was going out walking in the sun, he'd want something with a bigger brim.
Wow. Oh my fuck! I can't believe I'm on the show.
Like wear a sombrero, like.
Not a lot of sombreros in Ireland. Yeah.
There's an Irish walking cape.
Irish walking cake.
Irish walking. Both of them do come up. So
I would think like an Irish walking cap would just kind of be like a pub. You just walk around the pub.
All right, we have a lot to get to. I don't even know what the fuck is going on here. We got some voicemails. We got some double taps to do. So, who wants to kick it off? Don't all fucking.
What are we kicking off?
And then I can go. How about that? Because I can't hear you guys.
You can hear me fine.
Yeah, well, I don't want to.
You don't want.
I was nuts.
What are you gonna do next time you call me when something breaks?
Wow.
Well, maybe I don't know. You won't. At least then I'll be not getting wet.
Wow.
Harry's just drunk.
Wow. Jeez. Oh, we got Ozzy Osbourne here.
I'll tell you what. Here's what I'm gonna say. You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
At the end of this year, when I start wrestling again, to when I stop wrestling again next October, Aries will be one of my wrestling matches.
Wow, is he calling you out?
Oh, he's not going to sell anything.
You looking to get beat? Well,
he'll sell for me
if he'd put a move on that would actually like do any damage.
Oh shit! Cage match, Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabian cage match.
What kind of cage is that?
Nah, they have them over there.
I know they have cage, but like difference between a regular cage match in a Saudi Arabian.
Well, Saudi Arabian cage match definitely doesn't have any women in it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that one.
Yeah. A Saudi Arabian cage match would be in
what
Saudi
he's saying,
Arabia.
Aries, is that there was just a big wrestling show in Saudi Arabia.
Thank you, Maz.
And it was also like in addition to like highlighting some of their fucking less desirable social
ancient fucking
traits.
rules. Yeah.
It also was as far as the actual wrestling goes, it was to paraphrase something that I said before, it was aggressively mediocre.
Yes.
Undertaker came back for no reason. They had a casket match.
Right.
Just bad stuff. But yeah, I'll wrestle Aries. He won't sell anything. He won't bump it all. It'll be boring, but I'll wrestle him.
Ooh, Jello.
All right, Mars, you kick it off with your double tap.
So, first off is a record. And this record I had found out about probably around the time that it actually came out, but I didn't know it actually came out. I thought like I heard a song and I thought it was only that song. And the name of the record is 8 and 8. And the goal of this record was a group of musicians got together and we're going to make a record in 8 hours. Now, they didn't hit that. They only made 6 songs in 12 hours, I think it was. They got it done. But it is, they also have a funny nickname in addition to 8 and 8. They are tomorrow's supergroup today. And the members of this band are Ben Folds, Damian Kulash from OK Go, Amanda Palmer, and Neil Gaiman, who wrote a majority of the lyrics on the record. And it's 6 songs, and they're all a little bit different, but the production of it really pulls it all together. And I think the kind of melancholy that's shared between the three musicians' voices, and the fact that both of the musicians are like both of them lead. Two of the musicians, I should say, are piano players and drummers. Like it's really cool, and it really sounds good, and it's really interesting. And there's actually a song where Neil does lead vocals on, and I love it. I found it today when I was kind of perusing. I've learned I have to check Amanda Palmer's Bandcamp every few weeks because she just comes out with shit now. She doesn't necessarily put out records; she'll just put out 2 or 3 songs. And this was a really cool find. I adore it. I really like OK Go. They're a band I always forget about, and Ben Folds is a favorite of mine, and everyone, my love for Amanda Palmer Mars is well documented, and she does sing my favorite lead on my favorite track on here called Nikola Tesla, rather. It's fucking great. I really, really, really like it, and you can get it for as low as I think $4. I think on Bandcamp right now. It might be name your price, but I paid $4. So definitely check it out.
I'm playing a little bit of Nikola Tesla right now.
I can't hear it, but I bet everybody likes it.
Well, it's kind of a cool little group.
Yeah, on Ben Folds' 3-disc compilation, The Best Imitation of Myself, there was an 8-8 song that's also on this called Because of Origami, which is awesome, which is about 2 kind of absentee parents that were just consistently giving. It was almost like, it's funny, it was almost like a Julie Blume sort of book thing. Like, they kept like giving their children, their child like lessons to that, and had him join this club, and then eventually he like ran away. Like it was a very I thought it was a very poignant song at the time, but it was kind of still whimsical in itself because those are very larger than life performers, in my opinion. And I think 8-8 is great. I think it's I can't believe that it's not. I know I'm disconnected by design, but I can't believe that like it's like not a bigger deal. Like especially in our community, that there's a record that you like sing. So
yeah, I haven't heard of it until you just mentioned it. So. I'm, obviously I know you're a big Amanda Palmer fan, and I'm kind of lukewarm on all the people in the band that are musicians. I've never heard Neil Gaiman sing or play music, but I'd be interested in checking it out.
Yeah, so, his vocal stylings are more kind of Monty Python-y, spoken wordy.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of what it reminded me of the most. His song is amazing. The song he sings anyway, it's called "The Problem with Saints," and it's about why it sucks to hang out with Joan of Arc because she's always like, talking about martyring herself and stuff like that. So it's very cool. Neil is in good form here. So and Amanda, like I feel like this is everybody doing what they do best, but it also like because it's through that Neil filter, it is a little different. So
there you go, 8-8, and that's if you're looking for it. The number 8, IN number 8. There's no spaces, so it's just those 4 characters, 8, IN 8.
I like that.
If you want to go ahead and search for it. And if you're watching the live feed right now, I'm showing some art for it so you can see.
Oh, it's awesome.
So give it a look. Cool. All right, Mars.
I mean, it's no secret that, there's very little that Amanda Palmer has done that I don't adore. There's just something about her artistically that like really speaks to you.
Yeah.
So for about 2 years now, as I've been like, one thing I'd really like to do, Wolfie, which will lead into my other double tap here, is at some point, when it doesn't have to be something we do once a month or, maybe only once a year, but a couple times a year maybe. I'd like to do a second segment where I pick an action movie for us to review, because I feel like what represents the direct-to-video action market now is like fucking bubbling over. But like, I have to be honest, until the middle of last year, other than The Raid, I had no fucking idea. Like, I didn't know there were all these great action movies happening with like this whole new generation of action stars. And if you're thinking we're talking like super low budget stuff, these are films that look like films that we would have seen in the theater, like Commando or Jean-Claude Van Damme films. like like Bloodsport and stuff like that. Like these are great international action movies with like legit chase scenes and like great fight scenes and everything else. It's like really fucking great right now. We're in an action renaissance. And as I was kind of like discovering this, like I was getting a lot of recommendations, and every time people give me recommendations, our good friend El Goro from the Great Talk Without Rhythm podcast was like, dude, you got to watch Blood and Bone. And I'd watch like an Undisputed film. He'd be like, oh, that's great. Now you got to watch Blood and Bone. And I just never, ever, ever got around to it. And very recently, like 2 weeks ago, probably, I watched Blood and Bone, and it is fucking awesome. It is a good time. It definitely has the spirit of those 80s films, and it is mean and raw and not particularly politically correct. Nice. The fight scenes are awesome, and they're full of like this guy who did this was like kind of like a freak show pride in UFC mark. So like one of the main villains is Bob Sapp, and Kimmo Slice is in it, and Ernest Miller is in it as a he only has a small part as like he has like a flamboyantly homosexual like fighter gimmick, almost like what would be called in like pro wrestling a exotico. Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
But it's fucking great, and it stars Michael Jai White, and he is awesome. I lost the director's name, but he's made a lot of stuff. It's a lot of action stuff that's not necessarily as good as this stuff. He's mostly known for that abysmal Dragon Ball live action movie that came out. But this is a good movie. I would have liked to think. I don't know if it was before or after. I think this was after. Michael Jai White doesn't do much more than he's good at. He kind of just fucking mugs it up and delivers lines like he's cutting a wrestling promo at all times. There's like no subtlety to his performance. This is definitely like one of those tournament movies that we grew up loving. I fucking really adored this movie. I adored how fucking mean it was. I adored how despite the fact it had this like very not positive worldview about a lot of things, it kind of all pans out at the end in a really almost like too neat sort of way, like all those films did. And if you are not familiar with Michael Jai White, he is most renowned for being the first African American to play a cinematic superhero when he was Spawn. And he also played Mike Tyson as well. Yeah. He's in the Undisputed films as the main villain.
Black Dynamite.
As the main villain.
Meteor Man.
He's Black Dynamite as well. Right on. Yeah.
The Toxic Avenger Part 2.
Yeah, I don't know who he is in that, but
he has a very small part in it.
I will say this: his role in this is not imagine Black Dynamite not funny, like, and that's how he like delivers the lines in this. Like, it's very like. My favorite line in the whole movie is the main villain, who is ludicrous. There's this guy who's like the main drug dealer in East LA, and he's got a fucking like Lon Chaney's Larry Talbot style fucking werewolf cane for no fucking reason at all. Like, it's crazy. He kills people because he doesn't like he feeds some dude to his dogs because he doesn't like him swearing, and like it's just fucking over the top. And like he kind of manages Bob Sapp in this underground like fight league, and it's just so fucking good. But there's a line where the guy goes, Julian Sands is in it, and he delivers some of the fucking most villainous racist rules ever. And one of the villains goes, like, this is an actual line from this movie, and I can't do Michael Jai White properly, but like just to show you how these lines are delivered, he's like, the villain goes, I am not used to people saying no to me. And Michael Jai White's retort is, better get used to it.
Jesus.
Sounds cool,
awesome.
though.
Yeah, I fucking love it. I mean, there's like a lot of the films, and it's why I want to do it. We should talk about it more, Wolfie, because like there's all these great Scotty Adkins movies that are coming out, and like, Ray Park is doing some cool fucking shit, and there's just like, it's like all of a sudden this is like bubbling over the surface. It's the good side of what what Netflix is like. You know, we always talk about the really shitty low budget horror movies that don't pay off. Well, there are like dozens of these incredible action. There's this great movie called Blood and Bone that stars Tony Jaa and not Blood and Bone, Tony Jaa and Dolph Lundgren, and Dolph is so fucking old he looks like Frankenstein in it. And he's just like walking around like Marv, like fucking killing like white slavers, and like Tony Jaa is doing his thing. Like, and the other thing why I think that this is like a good crossover for us is that these films, the one thing that these films have that some of the action movies that we grew up on didn't have, some of them did, but they are very violent. Like, so like. You know, it's cool. There was a Scott Adkins movie I watched the other day where he bit some guy's jugular out to win the fight. So, like, you know, the shit's not fooling around. I highly recommend it. I'd like to, I would love to introduce my buddies and comrades on this show to the, wonderful world of independent action that's happening right now. So, but Blood and Bone just hit Netflix. So check it out.
My only thing about that, Mars, is there's like. That's the Cult of Muscle, and they do it better than us. Like, I feel like it would just be in them. Like, it would just be, why would people want to listen to us talk about action when they can listen to those guys? You know, not.
Well, I would be doing a very specific. They do a very wide array of action, and I would be doing I would want to show you guys a very like. I wouldn't do an old Canon Films action movie. You know, like I want to do these things. But I mean, I get you. I get where you're coming from, and no one is a bigger fan of them than me. But I know some stuff. I don't know as much as them. You know.
Well, I
mean, probably
you do.
I'm on that.
You do. But I mean, I don't necessarily want to speak for everyone else, but I just don't know if like everyone else has the.
Well, I mean, not for nothing. Monster just said he's glad that there's misogynistic people in the world, so we can have an ad campaign. I'm not worried about.
Thank God there are white slavers for Dolph Lundgren to kill.
Yeah, I'm not worried about.
Jesus, you're all so
right.
idiotic.
We are.
Thank God there's fire that keeps firefighters.
I can think of 300 so nights that I felt idiotic when I got off the fucking phone with you.
All right.
Well, Blood and Bone just hit Netflix. I had to kind of watch it through quasi insidious means, but you can now watch it 100% legally.
I think it's on my queue, actually.
I'm going to queue it up right now.
All right, Marsman, are you gonna stick around or are you out?
I'll stay. I want to hear everybody else's taps, but I will not. Like normally, I have a hard time hearing the voicemails, but tonight I can't even. Like usually, I can faintly hear the in between stuff, but I can't hear anything tonight.
All right, well let's keep going. So let's go to. You ready with yours, MZ?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
All right.
Okay.
Oh, show and tell.
Yeah. Got my stuff. Okay, well, I was able to obtain this. It's been a while since we've done
Yeah, it has been.
a double tap, because I remember this coming out in late February, and I don't think I might have talked about it, but I don't recall us ever doing a double tap before since then. So this is my chance to bring up the Arrow Blu-ray of Basket Case.
Oh.
Yeah. And this is the 2-disc. This is a. Let me see. No, my mistake. It's a single disc. Single disc of a 4K restoration of the 1982 classic by Frank Henenlotter. This film was just recently added to the. What was it? The
Library of Congress.
No. Wait, what?
It's a good movie, but I don't know about.
How do you know about that? That blows my mind that you just pulled that out of your ass.
Well, we've talked about it on the before.
We have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's been where is it? Oh God, I need glasses.
See,
I'm getting so goddamn old.
Get
Raven Shadow, let him. Oh, never mind.
Not these.
Those don't work.
But
put it up close to you.
The Film Institute, like a Washington Film Institute. I forget the name of it. God damn it. But anyway, it's got a shitload of extra special features on this bad boy. And can they see what's on that screen right there?
They can in a sec. I just have to switch it over. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's that. It has a reversible cover. The cover that you're going to see is the newly new artwork.
That's what they're seeing right now.
Okay. Yeah, that's the new artwork, and it also comes with the retro.
Yeah, I prefer the
reversible.
retro.
I love reversible covers. Let's see. Comes with Q&As. Comes with brand new audio commentary by Frank Henenlotter and star Kevin Van Hentenryck. Archival audio commentary from the old Something Weird video.
Oh, nice.
DVD. Brief directed with Frank Henenlotter. Seeing Double, the Basket Case twins. You get to meet the twins, the two nurses from Basket Case. Yeah. Let's see. You get some early work from Kevin Van Hentenryck. Some black and white features that he did way back in the day in the early 70s. Belial Goes to the Drive-In, an interview with Joe Bob Briggs. Museum of Modern Art, that's what it's called. Basket Case at Museum of Modern Art. It shows the screening of that, plus the Q&A following. Beautiful restoration, What's in the Basket. Feature-length.
What's in the basket?
What's in the basket?
Feature-length documentary on all three films, which is fantastic. New video essays. Let's see, what else do we have here? Belial's Dream. There's these new shorts that they have with Kevin Van Hentenryck where he talks about his time doing Basket Case. Then he does another one where he is Dwayne Bradley. And what's Dwayne Bradley up to now?
He works down at Honey Farms.
Making $11.75 an hour. And so we get to see what Dwayne is up to. It comes with a collection booklet, comes with trailers, TVs, reversible sleeve, rarely seen shorts made by Frank Henenlotter called Slash of the Knife, which also had Kevin Van Hentenryck in it.
Bradley.
And so this is just an absolutely phenomenal Blu-ray, and I love it. And of course, Basket Case is my favorite horror film right now. I've been saying that for about 3 or 4 years now. So
you still need to get that Belial tattoo on your side.
I've been saying that for like a decade, and I still haven't done it yet. I don't know if my old skin can take it anymore.
Your old skin.
I don't know.
I think we have another
if
video
Belial was on you,
opportunity.
he'd tear himself off.
Right?
Yeah.
And also with this Basket Case Blu-ray also came with the enamel pin of
Belial.
I don't know if they could see it through the plastic, but anyway, good. So there's that, and I've kept that in the plastic. I don't know if I'm going to take it out or not.
That's pretty awesome.
It is awesome. I do love it.
Can you talk?
I never took my Phantasm one out of the bag.
How's Belial talk, MZ? How many times have you seen?
No, we said how does Belial talk?
How many times have you seen Basket Case?
Oh God,
just a guess.
If I had to guess, maybe 80 or 90 times at least. At least. Jesus, I fucking love this Blu-ray. So if you're a big Basket Case fan, there's no reason for you not to have this. I picked it up at diabolicdvd.com, and I'm sure they got plenty left. So check it out.
There you go.
My second double tap.
Oh boy, here we go.
I'm excited for this. There was a little story beforehand that we gotta hear the rest of.
Yeah, there is a story to do with this. As you know, I am a big Transformer collector.
No. Well, fucking knock me over with a feather.
Holy shit. 302 episodes. We found this out now? Been holding out.
I was supposed to be getting I ordered a piece from China called, from a company called Wei Zhang. And
Sounds fair.
they were supposed to send me this, a figure called ALCEE, ALCEE, and it was supposed to be their version of not so much of a masterpiece, but of like a legend style RC, and RC was the one lone female returning figure in Transformers Generation 1. First it was the movie, and then she showed up in seasons 3 and 4. So anyway, I put an order in for that through eBay, and what I got instead was Assault Soldiers Mech Soul 1 from the company called Lost Planet. And this is their take on a masterpiece Springer. It is much smaller in size. And to be perfectly honest, I mean, I like the figure. I just don't approve of the price point. I think it's a little bit expensive for what you get. But all in all, the color quality of this is really quite good. The plastic is really sturdy. Doesn't feel like anything's going to snap. I feel like the transformation on it could be a little bit better. As some of you might know, Springer is a triple changer. And
was that his original name?
Springer.
It was called Springer?
Springer, yeah.
I thought it was something cool in that because he was the tank and helicopter, right?
Well, a car and a helicopter, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. He was a helicopter, a car, and a robot. And the posability on this guy isn't too bad. Like I said, I think the price point on it is a little bit more than what I would pay for a figure of this size, no matter how good the articulation or the color might be. Like I said, I think the transformation could be better. From robot, it's really good. The robot form is really, really good. The car mode is okay. The helicopter mode, I think, is the second best part. The problem is between car mode and helicopter mode, it only takes 2 moves. And I don't feel that's much of a challenge, not much of a transformation. So it kind of loses the it factor that I'm looking for in a Transformer. But anyway, I mean, it's not a terrible figure, but I just think it's a little bit pricey. But if you're interested, go check out on eBay or go to Lost Planet, and they should have more of these. They've been coming out with more and more of these figures. They've been coming out with a Soundwave. They came out with a Megatron. I think they came out not a Soundwave, a Shockwave. They came out with a Shockwave and a a Shockwave, a Megatron, and I believe a Hot Rod. I'm not sure. So there's that. And I'll transform this while everyone else starts talking. But anyway, that's my double tap.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, Aries.
Okay, I don't have a show and tell because
you don't need one.
I don't need one
because this is in second grade.
Yeah, fuck off. I don't need one.
I ain't fucking doing it.
No, I mean this was all kind of sprung on me last minute,
a couple hours ago.
Which is last minute for me.
Yeah, which is fair. Like I don't go home.
Motherfucker, I spent 15 minutes at my house today.
We also haven't done one in a while, so it could be something in the last few months.
And I do appreciate the reminder as to you understood that when you said double tap. My next thing was going to be
what
the
is
fuck
that?
is double tap again? Who am I hitting?
Aries, we do a podcast on Wednesday nights. I'm not sure if you know that.
So, I mean, just stretching into my recent past as to what I'm doing in my free time.
Fixing Dynamo's house.
Fixing Dynamo's house.
Time Life Books series.
Let me tell you about my cock.
Hey now.
No, I mean, in my free time, I've been kind of exploring YouTube, which is a glorious thing.
Yep.
I don't know.
It's something that's been around for about 8 years.
I don't know if people have heard of this thing. YouTube. Check it out. It's amazing.
On the
With
internet.
Bono and the Edge?
Yeah, Bono and the Edge.
No, a couple of the channels, sites. Forgive me for not knowing how they're referred to. Channels. Okay, channels. One is Everything Wrong With.
Okay.
And they just kind of explore
the concepts.
Well, not. I mean, they pick apart a movie.
Okay.
The movie has to be out for a little while for them to venture into it.
Okay.
But I don't check out Everything Wrong With until you've seen the movie because spoilers.
Oh, it's Cinema Sins.
Cinema Sins. Yeah, that is this. Yes, you do say that, and I do remember
so
that.
So I've actually seen some of their stuff. Yeah.
It's very enjoyable. I mean, they are overcritical at times about certain things.
Okay.
Which has.
I hate those fucking guys.
I mean, well, shut up. Wait your turn.
He had his turn.
He had his turn. Yeah. So sit down. Shut up.
Wow.
No, it actually has spawned another channel known as Everything Wrong With.
Oh, okay.
Everything Wrong With.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Okay. Which is, I find hysterical, because
I agree.
They're picking apart someone else picking apart a movie.
Okay.
So essentially, they're taking just all my thought process out of anything I do.
Okay.
Because I pick apart movies, but then I'll pick apart someone else picking apart a movie. So they're just eliminating everything. I can just completely zone out and put this on.
Yep.
But it's Everything Wrong With. It's very good entertainment. Watch it. You know what? And pick apart them picking apart. It's part of the fun of the movie industry today.
Okay.
And it's a couple other channels I've been watching. What's the other one I watched? Help me out here.
Channel 4.
Channel 4, yeah. Channel 4 on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, 4Tube. Check that out. That's all. If I could this movie on there, that was pretty good.
Holy crap, I can't think of the name of it. This is compelling cinema right here. Just me.
Netflix.
Just me drawing a complete blank.
Shudder.
What's the other goddamn thing I watch? Oh, How It Should Have Ended.
Yes.
How It Should Have Ended?
How It Should Have Ended. Which is...
I like that one too.
Along the same lines, they just pick apart flaws in plot lines of movies where things probably should have happened a certain way.
Okay.
So it's... I mean... like I said, along the same lines, so they just pick it apart. I find that a little more comedically entertaining because they do make a joke of it all, and usually at the end of all the episodes, they have Batman and Superman sitting in a diner and speaking with whatever characters of whatever movie they've just analyzed.
So funny.
So it can be pretty humorous. For some reason, the it's a little thing, but one of the funniest things they've ever done is whatever movie they analyzed right before Man of Steel came out, at the end of the whole thing, the Superman cartoon stood up and went, well, I guess it's time to do my movie, and pulled off his red bungee underwear and threw them at Batman and walked away. And I was like, that's brilliant, because they're using the old school interpretation of Superman where he still has the underwear on the outside, but in the movie he doesn't. I don't know why I found that so humorous, but Superman flinging his underwear at Batman.
Sexy, right?
I'll laugh at that 5 or 6 times, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, you know what? Either one of those two channels, check them out if you're love any kind of. I mean, they venture into all types of movies. They do mainly the superhero genre.
Okay.
Genre.
But
they do venture into a lot of them, especially the Everything Wrong With. They'll tackle anything.
Okay.
So check them out.
I would do that.
All right.
I'll back both those plays.
All right. Mars, you're going to turn into a pumpkin. It's midnight.
Yeah, I like my internet must be garbage. Everybody's fucking robot-y, and I can't even hear. I only know Aries is being mean to me by the tone of his voice.
I have not been mean to you in probably 20 to 25 minutes.
I thought my internet's so bad. I thought Monster Zero said he was glad that racist people existed so that they could make a good video.
That'd be absurd.
I gotta go. Yeah.
All right, Mars man.
I'll see you guys in real life next week.
All right, sounds good, buddy. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you next week.
And I'll see you on Saturday, sir. Remember, children, wherever you go, there you are.
All right. See you, Mars Man.
Later, dude.
All right. So, Raven Shadow, let's go with your double tap.
Wait, I got my car.
Oh, okay.
Whoa, stop the fucking presses.
Yeah.
All right.
All right,
so
now
here's, explain.
Okay, now the car mode is not. It's probably the weakest of the bunch because the arms which play out the sides of the car, the side fenders of the car, they don't tab in. They're not very well hidden either. Outside of that, it could be better. Well, I shouldn't say that. I mean, I think the whole thing could be better. I just did it quick and dirty. I'm not really into the art, into getting it all figured out quick and nilly, but
quick and nilly.
Yeah.
All right.
You never heard that phrase?
Go with
before?
that.
No.
Quick and nilly.
But yeah. So anyway, that's Springer in car mode. Could be better. Could be a lot better.
So you're gonna keep it?
What?
You're gonna get the one you wanted? You're gonna get the Transformer?
No. I'm keeping this. And then I'll just put it in its.
Yeah, it's 2 moves. You said.
Yeah, this is it.
2 moves to transform into a helicopter, right?
To a helicopter, correct, sir.
If you can do those 2 moves.
Oh no, I can. Then you take his sword, like you would in the regular G1 toy.
Ah, there you go.
And oh wait, did I forget something? Oh, I forgot something.
All right, let's have Raven Shadow go. We'll show the
Okay,
helicopter after. So.
For the aging fanboy in me, I feel the term graphic novel gets thrown around incorrectly over the last couple of years.
Yes, it's kind of a catch-all.
Yeah, and I mean, like, what I remember, graphic novels were actual standalone single stories. And like I said, I didn't have time to get stuff from the house, but I got this from the shop
because
today.
it's a trade paperback. Is
right, exactly.
Really the name.
Original graphic novel was a story that was specific to that format. And they're usually larger size. Marvel had a bunch of them. The Death of Captain Marvel. The New Mutants first appeared in one of those. Bernie Wrightson, Hooky, Spider-Man story. But I grabbed this today. I've always wanted to read it. Was Revenge of the Living Monolith. 1985, and pretty much it was pitched as a giant monster attacks New York story. But the art was by Mark Silvestri, early Mark Silvestri. Jeff Isherwood and David Michelin was the writer. And I love these because the art was always great in a lot of these. Sometimes they'd be kind of provocative. I remember in the She-Hulk graphic novel, you definitely saw some She-Hulk nipplage, which was kind of cool.
Ew.
As a young lad, I mean, there was no internet, and it was 1986.
Were they green or pink?
It's a funny thing because they were green.
Green.
Yeah. But like darker green?
I would think
Well,
it would be a darker green.
Yeah.
I don't know, I just asking.
Yeah.
Research.
Yeah, it's very important. That was a cool one too because that's the one where she used to be able to turn from Jennifer Walters to She-Hulk, but there's a series in that where she got stuck in her She-Hulk form and she was okay. But what's cool about this is it was 85. And you notice the cover, the giant living pharaoh is punching one of the Twin Towers right in the bush.
Oh, Jesus.
Which is, it's funny. Not funny, but like the context of that kind of destruction, how we've seen it play out in real life,
it is
unfortunately.
Kind of crazy.
Where I know a lot of the writers after 9/11 that were on Ground Zero really moved away from that kind of stuff. A lot of writers didn't even want to do stuff set in modern times. I think Neil Gaiman was one of them. But yeah, you wouldn't see that covered today. But yeah, I've always loved these. Whenever I find them, I try to grab them, and they're cool. The art's always great. They always have an odd collection of characters, like in this one, Thor, Spidey, the FF, and Cap team up to stop the giant living pharaoh from running amok. So Yeah, I don't know if you can find it. It's probably not in print anymore. I found a copy at the shop, but I love Marvel's graphic novel series. I'm a huge mark for.
Immediately, it doesn't even look like Marvel. There's nothing like distinctly Marvel except for the heroes, obviously. But
yeah, and
there's nothing like no logo or anything like that.
And I would see these in like Walden books. Before there was a graphic novel section, which there wasn't. There would be the spinner rack. And then, like around where the D&D books were kept, and maybe some like the action books that Mars would read, you would see those just kind of there, and it'd be a weird surprise. It was way before. I don't think I even would discover local comic shops yet at that point. But it's very subtle. The art was always a little sexier, a little naughtier and larger. Like I said, you don't see those anymore. It always felt more grown up to me, getting these kind of things.
I see some, and I only say this because I know his art fairly well, but looks a little bit like John Ostrander, who did the Martian Manhunter. Like I see, that style.
It's not the Mark Silvestri that you might know from Cyberforce or Wolverine.
Yeah.
And I think the inks by Jeff Ursherwood has something to do with that. But it's a little more.
It's cool though. It looks nice.
Yeah. It's not the Image style. It's definitely a cool.
Well, that cover looks very Image-like.
You think so?
Yeah.
It's Image before Image, right?
I would look at that and think that was an Image cover.
Really?
Yeah. It's very Savage Dragon.
Interesting.
The font.
Oh, like the title?
Yes.
I could see that, I guess. But that was 85. It still lists Stan Lee as the publisher at that time. Which is kind of funny. Not funny, but just, old school. But yeah, I love the Marvel graphic novel series. Like I said, this is a real fucking graphic novel. Everything else is fucking trades. And it fucking pisses me off, all right? It's like, I don't watch movies, I watch films. It's a fucking comic book, dude, okay? Slow it down. But yeah.
All right, Revenge of the Monolith. Of the Living Monolith.
The Living Monolith, yeah,
he's fucking living. He's not dead.
Yeah, he ain't dead yet. He'll put you in the dirt.
Put your dick in the dirt.
That's fucking page 5. It's fucking outrageous. My second tap was on Netflix. I watched this on Sunday also. And I've definitely double tapped this entertainer. And I got to say, it's one of my biggest influences of all time. Definitely on my Mount Rushmore. The late, great Bill Hicks, I've often talked about.
Oh, yeah.
He is I won't say new. Unfortunately, for those who don't know, Bill passed away from pancreatic cancer at the age of 32. And it's a shame because a lot of his material is very relevant today. A lot of comedians have definitely copied, borrowed, homaged his material.
Yeah, or flat out stolen.
Myself included at times, but I love Bill. It's Bill Hicks, A Sane Man. It's on Netflix. And if you're a fan of his work, it's not material you haven't heard before, but I think it's one of his earliest video shows that's been, was captured live. It definitely predates his One Night Stand on HBO, I think from 88, which I saw, where I first saw him from. But it was fun. About an hour and 20 minutes on Netflix. Check it out. If you love Bill, it's great to see him young. And if you haven't, if you don't know Bill, check it out because he's fucking awesome.
Okay, really? Did you just say him young? We've never seen him old.
Well, no, but I mean, if he died at 32, he's probably
young.
He's probably younger. Well, fair.
Jeez.
He's not dead. How about that? See Bill not dead, because that's fun. Thanks, Aries.
I'm just calling it as I see it.
Yeah, okay, what's wrong with this? Bill Hicks is fucking dead. That's my fucking...
That's the big takeaway from
Big takeaway.
That's the big, yeah.
Yeah. There's also a cool Sam Kinison special up on Netflix, too.
Hey.
Yeah.
He's dead, too.
He's fucking goddamn it. I know. All
the good ones died.
George Collins.
George Collins dead.
Yeah.
Richard Pryor's on there.
That's a fucking shame that Carlin's
It's
dead.
like Dane Cook's still fucking alive.
Yeah, how do you figure that?
Yep.
Jesus.
Really? You're just going to borrow that little bit right there?
I just fucking it's Bill Hicks. I said I steal from him. I homage him. But that's the thing, seriously, Dane Cook's fucking fine. He's alive.
All right. I'm going to do mine, and then we're going to get some voicemail.
And then we got to go.
Then we're going to go.
Let's try to make it quick here. Come on.
All right. So over the weekend, I watched a little show on YouTube Red called Cobra Kai.
Oh, nice.
I've been meaning to get to
Now, the first 2 episodes are available for free. There's 10 episodes in the first season, so if you guys want to, just do a search for Cobra Kai. You can watch episodes 1 and 2 for free. They're up there. And if you like what you see, you want to watch the rest, you can get a 30-day trial to YouTube Red. So they'll give you a free 30 days. I think it's $15 a month, which I honestly don't know why it costs so much, because I don't think the value is there. So what you do is you sign up for it, you quickly cancel it right after so they don't charge your card in 30 days, and then you get the free 30 days. You watch Cobra Kai, and then you get rid of it. But no, first 2 episodes, watched it, really enjoyed it. It strikes a really good balance between nostalgia and showing you more about these super compelling characters. And one of the interesting things, I won't go too deep into it, but have you guys seen the video I think there's several actually. You can find it on YouTube of someone who said, they break it down and say that Johnny was the hero and Daniel was the villain.
I've seen that video, yeah.
I've heard we've talked about it, but I've never seen it.
It's interesting, and it makes a whole lot of sense when you think about it.
And actually, this series kind of goes off on that a little bit. So
like an alternate reality, because
no, not from Johnny's point of view.
Okay,
he is the fucking hero, and Daniel's the one that sucker punches him first, like when they're fighting on the beach.
Yep.
You know?
And I always thought at the end of spoiler alert in the Karate Kid, Daniel wins. Johnny does hand Daniel the trophy.
He does. And so the cool thing about this series is obviously it's a great kind of nostalgia thing. One thing I will say, I don't want to give too much of the nostalgia away, but this was actually featured in some of the promotional stuff, so that's why it's not really much of a giveaway. So Johnny, Johnny starts training someone, a young kid, and the kid is going to go to a Halloween party at his school, and Johnny sees his costume and is like, oh, that's terrible. It's like a homemade superhero costume. He's like, I'll tell you what you have to go as. And then the kid shows up to the party as a skeleton, like Johnny did.
Nice.
So it was kind of a nice callback, you know. So there's a lot of those nice little callbacks to it. And Johnny is, I really love the characterization. Now, he's an asshole. Let me just flat out say that. Like, he's kind of a sexist asshole. And
thank God he exists.
No. You can kind of see him turn a little bit. Like, I think it underscores how kind of horrible he is at the beginning by where he kind of ends up towards the end. You know, so it's a nice story arc for him. And I would say he's kind of more of the star of this, even though Daniel's in it quite a bit. Maybe even like 50-50, but I feel like Johnny gets a lot of the focus, which, I mean, obviously William Zabka, the actor, is great, and I think he really plays this role so well. Like it's actually kind of varied. Like he has some range in what he does, and it's a fun series. Like some of the writing was a little questionable at times because it almost seemed like it was poking fun at sort of progressive kind of liberals, which I thought was weird, but I couldn't tell if it was kind of juxtaposing 80s writing versus modern day writing now, because in the 80s you could get away with that stuff, and now like the kids in the movie are calling out the adults on that sort of thing. So it's kind of an interesting kind of dichotomy of that, but it almost skews a little bit too much towards making fun of like the liberal types, which is like, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way at times, but I wasn't sure if it was just kind of underscoring 80s versus now and sort of how these characters are kind of stuck in their ways a little bit. So I wasn't quite sure. I'd be honest, like, would like to hear other people's opinion on that. It did kind of toe the line a little bit for me, But aside from that, there is a lot of really, really great nostalgia, like I said, and you really get a closer glimpse into these characters' lives because there's 10 episodes. They're half-hour episodes, so you basically get a 5-hour, like basically, almost 3 movies worth of following these guys. And it's good. I liked it a lot, and I'm at the end. It alludes to another season. I don't know if it's officially been picked up, but it alludes to another season, and it's a pretty interesting ending.
I think just the popularity of it alone will constitute a second season.
I think so.
I'm just thrilled that Zapka Mania is running wild again.
I love William Zapka. He was so good in it.
Put him in some more shit, dude.
Yeah.
Have him be like a villain on a CW show or like on something.
Right.
Like he's fucking great.
He does play a great foil.
You guys should at least check out the first 2 episodes.
Yeah,
they're free.
I'm definitely going to check out all of these. I have to. I mean,
am I right that
anyone who's a Karate Kid fan, it's me.
I think we're. Well, maybe you're. I don't know if you're.
You
bigger
rip into me all the time. I'm like, I love Karate Kid.
Yeah,
well, you guys start
but
laughing.
popular film, everyone saw it. I mean, it was in. We all saw it in fucking theaters, dude. Like, but am I right that fucking Machio's fucking 56 years old? And
no,
the
I
other
think
one's
he's 49. I think.
Are you sure?
I could be wrong, but Ralph Macchio doesn't look like he's aged much, and William Zabka looks pretty good as well.
Yeah.
I tell you, Ralph Macchio, he didn't age, but then all of a sudden, 10 years just jumped on him all of a sudden.
Right.
Well, I mean, when you get close to 50,
Yeah, but it was just the weirdest thing. He was just 20, 20, 20, 20, 50. What the fuck happened?
I think he's older than we think.
William Zabka is 52, and Ralph Macchio is 56. Okay, you're right.
Is he 56?
Told you.
Wow.
I watched fucking Entertainment Tonight.
Damn.
I didn't know that Zabka was actually younger.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah,
That is weird.
He always kind of looked like
the both of them look younger than me, so
that's fair.
I gotta say, I love William Zabka though, and he was really good in this. It was
he's
fun
great.
just to see him, and
he's great in everything.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, we gotta get that Just One of the Guys and Back to School, revive those.
Yeah.
And have the Billy Zabka Bully trilogy complete.
So William Zabka, Cobra Kai, give it a watch if you want. If you have an affinity towards the Karate Kid and you want to sort of see what happens 30 some odd years later.
More than that.
So all right, and next I'll do this quick. It's really mostly one song. I will talk about the whole album though. But the new album from A Perfect Circle. It's called Eat the Elephant. Which I think has certain political connotations. Yeah. And it's I don't really read lyrics anymore when I listen to music. I just don't have time to sit down. Like when I was a kid, I used to sit down and read the lyrics as I listened to the album. But I did actually pull the lyrics out for a couple songs on this because I wanted to know what he was saying. It's Maynard James Keenan from the singer of A Perfect Circle and Tool, of course.
Green Jelly?
No.
Yes, he is.
What?
He's the lead singer from Green Jelly.
I don't know if lead singer, but he was in it.
Yeah, well, I mean, if he sang the songs, Little Pig, Let Me In. See,
if that's true, that's gonna blow my mind.
See, I knew about Ralph Macchio, and I know about all kinds of things.
Let's see, early bands. He performed backup vocals on that song.
All right. Well,
during let's see, he formed the foundation. Blah 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 blah. He also, with future Tool bandmate Danny Carey, performed live and recorded with Green Jelly between 90 and 93, performing backup vocals as the voice of the first pig on the Three Little Pigs.
Huh. Oh,
so
shit.
he wasn't technically in the band. It doesn't sound like, but
fair.
he sang. But that's still interesting. I didn't know that. So
See?
there you go. Raven Shadow teaching us something new.
See, there you go, man. I'm gonna be producing now.
Go for it. Be my guest.
You've been gone a long time, Johnny. I'm learning some new things.
So the new album, Eat the Elephant, just was released, and there's one song I wanted to play specifically because it talks about a lot of the heroes that we've lost in the last couple of years. It's kind of a heavy song, so let me play a little bit. It's called "So Long and Thanks for All the Fish," which obviously is a reference to
Jesus.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Thank you, Aries. Yeah, I just drew a blank on it. So it talks about like David Bowie, Princess Leia, and
Prince.
Willy Wonka, Prince. Yeah. So a lot of the people that we've lost. Like I'll read some of the lyrics here. That's not the right song. I'll play a little bit here. I'll probably get dinged by YouTube, but I'll play a little bit of it anyways.
Yeah. Wow. I'm digging this.
Yeah, it says, now Willy Wonka, Major Tom, Ali, and Leia have all moved on.
I'm going to fucking bawl my eyes out.
I know.
I know. Shit, man. What a way to bring the show down. Damn it.
Well, it's... and the second... In the second verse, he says...
If he brings up Chet from Weird Science, I'm really going to get pissed.
Where's the other one?
Man.
He says, like old Prince and Brady's mom, all the Dolphins have moved on, signaling the final curtain call in all its atomic pageantry. So this song in particular is So Long and Thanks for All the Fish, but the whole entire album is good. There's also like a really kind of powerful song. I think it's the next song, Talk, about sort of the whole gun debate. You know, like the lyrics for that one are also pretty interesting when he talks about like thoughts and prayers.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking deep. I actually need to read. Let me just read the first verse. You're waiting on miracles, we're bleeding out. Thoughts and prayers, adorable. Like cake in a crisis, we're bleeding out.
No.
While you deliberate, bodies accumulate.
No.
So, it's a good album. It's all, like if you like Perfect Circle, you like Maynard James Keenan, I definitely recommend checking it out. But it just hit... if you subscribe to any streaming services, it's probably available there. I have Apple Music, and that's where I've been listening to it. Wow. But I'm sure it's on Spotify. You can obviously buy it too. So support some great artists and listen to the new Perfect Circle.
That's cool, man. Yeah.
So that one kind of hit me, after listening to the rest of it, where it's kind of politically charged, and then you hear that song, it's like, oh man, like thinking about your heroes, like all gone and.
That's a kick right in the feels, huh?
Mm-hmm. Right in the feels, yep.
Yep.
Cecil says, I'm the one weirdo who just never got into Karate Kid.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's not, not for everyone.
Yeah.
I'd still recommend checking out Cobra Kai.
I suppose.
And Cecil says, I haven't listened to the new APC stuff yet, A Perfect Circle. And he said Major Tom. Yep. So, yeah, check it out. All right, well, now we have some voicemails to get to, so we can wrap things up. And let's hear from someone we haven't heard from in a while. This is Jethro Nomicon.
Wow, stranger.
We can hear him.
Hey there, fellas. This is Jethro Nomicon sitting outside with my lady, Daisy Cutter. I just wanted to stop, and do what I was doing and say keep up the good work on the podcast. Can't wait to hear the new one. And also, of course, I want to hear your opinions on the Avengers. Also, I'll try to break down later my plan to create an island. We're going to have to pool our resources, but it involves lava and a glacier. Anyway,
wow.
You guys have a good night. Maybe I'll see you while you're podcasting later. And, keep it real. Later.
Hi, Jethro. Yeah, good to hear from you, man. I hope looks like things are going pretty well for you.
Yeah.
So, awesome to hear from you. Hopefully we can hear about your this island plan.
Yeah. Speaking of islands, how's Hawaii doing from the kaiju attack?
Yeah, what's CDR up to? Is he okay?
CDR's in Canada, my friend.
Who am I thinking of?
You're thinking of
Death
Rattle Aaron.
Death Rattle Aaron, that's what I'm thinking of.
Death Rattle, Arizona. All right, we got one from our boy, First Time Mike. He has his own little double tap, so let's hear from First Time Mike.
Right.
What's up, Trick or Treat family? This is your friend First Time Mike. Hope everything is well with you, and how are y'all doing?
Slanging and banging.
I got a double tap I'm bringing to the floor today. My first double tap is I've been, as always, listening to the podcast when I should be working. It helps pass the time because I work in a back room, and a lot of times I'm by myself or working with people, and they don't care if I listen to stuff as long as there's not a lot of swearing or if they don't see my headphones.
Can't listen to us.
But
NSF.
I listened. A new podcast I've been listening to is called the Creepy Podcast.
Shit.
At www.creepypod.com.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much a fun podcast that reads various creepypastas and urban legends and adapts them for listening. Some of them are really short. I think the shortest one I can remember is like maybe 10-15 minutes, and some of them go as long as almost an hour. They're all self-contained. There's no like definite format. At the beginning, there were pretty much spoken word readings of various creepypastas, but they have evolved to having more ambient sound, and a lot of times the main guy that reads them will get like other people to do different voices, like if they're doing the various different links in a forum or an interaction, or found tapes in one of them. And it's a really good solid horror listening to when I'm working. When as much, I love listening to you guys and El Goro and the Cult of Muscle, but sometimes I want a little bit something different, a little bit shocking and disturbing when I'm working. Yeah, I'm weird, but makes the day go faster. There's some really solid, scary stories in there, and sometimes a simple word is very powerful. Some great imagery is made in there, and the narrators do a pretty good job with the material. It's a fun listen. It's the Creepy Podcast. I believe the guy also does another podcast called Small Town Horror or something. I haven't checked that out because I was more interested in the creepypasta angle to it. Creepy Podcast, www.creepypod.com. I'll link it on the Facebook group. And my second part of the double tap is a game that I had kickstarted this a couple of months. It's been out for a while, but it's called Survive This: Dark Places and Demigorgons. It's a horror role-playing game using a version of the original Dungeons and Dragons system. So if you played a couple of versions of it, if you played, like, for some of us older people, the big red box that you got at Toys R Us, you have a general way a general way to play the game. But it's basically, if you think, hey, that sounds familiar, Demigorgons from Stranger Things, you're right. It basically is a adaptation and use of Stranger Things to inspire this role-playing game, and it wears its heart on its sleeve. The main book is set in a town called Jeffersontown, Kentucky, where strange things are happening and monsters are appearing, and instead of playing fighters, mages, magic users, and clerics, your character classes are high school cliches from your favorite 80s TV shows and movies.
Nice.
So you're playing the jock, the nerd, the princess, or even the karate kid.
Oh.
And there's all sorts of monsters in this book. There's vampires and werewolves and all your favorite ones. They have the Satanic Panic issue where there's a reverend that's trying, anytime the teens are having fun, he's trying to shut the everything down, and it plays into the 80s satanic paranoia. The books are beautiful, some great artwork. It's a solid system. It's really a lot of character examples. There's a sample character for every character class to show you how to build the character. It's a fun little game because it has any 80s horror movie cliche that you can think of. You can play with this game with a little bit of tweaking. There's in the various source. There are also various other source books for it. They did a vampire source book, a player options and GM's guide with different expanded character classes, and a town setting guide. A lot of fun references, a lot of Easter eggs, references to 80s and even some early 90s horror movies, and some really deep dives I really enjoyed. You can get this book at RPG Now or Drive-Thru RPG, and you can get print copies at lulu.com. And it's called Survive This: Dark Places and Demigorgons. It's a role-playing game. Nostalgic, but very good fun game. I recommend it. This is first time Mike, going way too long tonight with my double tap. You all have a good night and a good week. Love you guys. Bye.
Awesome first time, Mike. Thanks, man. That sounds super interesting.
Yeah, see you, bud.
Is your mic off?
Oh, shit. Sorry. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, Survive This, Dark Places and Demogorgons. You can get the RPG core rule book. I'm looking at the Kickstarter right now. I love it. They got the D&D font.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. It says, in the 1980s, strange things happened everywhere. So it's sort of, capitalizing on some of the, with Stranger Things bringing sort of Dungeons and Dragons back to the forefront a little bit, kind of capitalizing on, kind of an amalgamation of the two, it looks like, which is pretty cool.
It does look cool, actually.
I was talking to someone recently. I don't know if they were speaking of this in particular, but they spoke of D&D-esque, role playing based on specific movies.
Yep.
You had to play as characters from a specific movie, and the whole story was based on that movie. And it was everything he had described to me was 80s movies. So I don't know if he was speaking of this or just something like this.
Yeah.
But it definitely sounded very interesting.
Yeah, it sounds cool. Well, thanks for that first time, Mike, and for the podcast recommends. And let's now hear from Leanna, and I think she has a double tap as well.
Oh.
Hi guys. So this time you've requested a double tap. 2 pieces of media that we've been enjoying lately. I've been reading a lot lately, so I guess most of this is going to be books, or at least one is. Actually, I'll make the first one easy for you guys and make it a comic book.
Oh.
The comic in question, I believe, is called Black Magic. It's currently being written by Greg Rucka with illustration and paintings by, I think her name is Jennifer Frison, but I'm not. No, not Jennifer Frison. Nicholas Scott.
Oh yeah.
Nicholas Scott and Greg Rucka. It's a comic about a witch police officer who's trying to solve the mystery over a murder mystery. Ends up finding a far grander plot behind it involving demons. It's a really cool comic. I can't wait till it updates again. The second thing that I've really enjoyed lately is actually up your alley. It's a horror novella. It's called The Beauty by Aaliyah Whiteley. And it's set in this post-apocalyptic England. A disease has basically killed off every woman on the planet. But strange mushrooms have grown from the graves of these women and have created these strange creatures who appear to be women but are made up of these mushrooms. And it is a very, very interesting look into gender roles, into what makes a man, what makes a woman, and an even greater look into what is storytelling, which I found fascinating. It's very short. It's only 99 pages of story, but it was very lasting on my consciousness. It was the very last bit of fiction that I've read, and I haven't picked up anything else really because it's been that good. For something even shorter that's more digestible for some of you to read, like MZ and Raven Shadow, I really do suggest checking out this literary magazine called The Dark magazine.
The Dark.
They've recently published their May issue, and it has 4 short stories. At least one of them is really good. It's called Pine Arches. I think it's called Pine Arches. Really good. You should really read it.
Cool.
It also has a reprint from an Angela Slatter short story collection, which I think all of you would enjoy.
Awesome. So one thing I'm actually doing is right now, I should get in the habit of doing this. I'm going to look stuff up, and I'm going to add it to the our influencer store on Amazon. So I just added The Beauty from Aaliyah Whiteley. And so I popped that up on there. So if you guys want to, once again, if you want to see any of the stuff we're talking about, Amazon.com/shop/thedeadites. So I just popped that on there. I'll pop the rest of the stuff on that we double tap that's available on Amazon anyways. Everything might not be. Like, for instance, the Raven Child's comic, I don't know if that's available.
I think it's probably out of print.
Yeah, exactly. So if it's available on Amazon, we'll pop it up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's awesome. Thank you, Leanna. That sounds pretty cool. And The Beauty from Aaliyah Whiteley it's a novella, so it's like, what, 90, I think she's at 99 pages.
Yeah, no, the magazine sounds cool, but I want to check out that book. It's like a different kind of flip the script on like Why the Last Man type thing.
You do realize the book is filled with subtitles.
I do read, man.
I just want to thank her for keeping me off the short list for the stupid hosts.
Well,
she probably doesn't even know who you are. You don't say anything.
Well, no. Remember we had a big fight? Everyone else seems to remember that big fight that we had.
I remember that. I don't think she was calling me stupid. I think, or us, both of us. We just need lesser content.
All right, I just added.
It ain't gonna be that long. Books and movies are too fucking long. Anyway,
I just added.
I just simply wanted to say I just wanted to thank her. That was all.
That's nice. I want to thank her too for contributing.
I just added the Dark magazine as well.
Cool, I'll get that.
So I'm gonna see if I don't know if that book, the RPG book, is available. Yeah, it doesn't look like Survive This, the one that first time Mike was talking about, is available. So I think you can buy it directly from them. It was a Kickstarter thing. So
yeah, that's what you're saying.
Cool. So thanks, Leanna. I popped those on there. And yeah, Black Magic, I've been meaning to check it out. I do love Greg Rucka, and Nicola Scott is an amazing artist. So I would love to check that out. And I'll actually have to let T-Dog know, because I think she'd be real into that. So thank you for those recommendations. Now let's go to our buddy Riku.
Riku and his.
Hey, Trick or Treat Radio. It's Riku. So I know it's been a little while. Been really busy with the new God of War game and a bunch of other games coming out. By the way, the new God of War game is really good so far.
Yeah.
You should check it out. Anyway, happy episode 300, belated.
Thank you.
I've just been busy and I hadn't been able to call in. Glad you made it to 301 and 302, so it didn't end up being the penultimate episode. I loved the shirtless MZ last week.
Oh, God.
That was great.
Yeah.
Good picture flying around Twitter. Happy Aries is on a lot lately. He brings something to the show, whereas the show is a nice stew of flavors.
Surliness.
But with Aries in there, it gets a bit a kick. It's a little spicy. Anyway, that's really about it. Oh, I was curious if Mars had heard about the RPG, the tabletop RPG called Urban Shadows, done by Magpie Games. It's a really interesting, like, dark fantasy urban setting, and it's powered by the Apocalypse system. I don't know. It's, from what I've seen of it, it looks really fun, and I was curious if you tried it. Anyway, that's it for me. Talk to you guys later. Bye.
Awesome, Riku. It's great hearing from you, bud.
Yeah, haven't heard from him in a while.
Yeah, and sometimes people, if they don't call in after not calling in for a while, people sometimes feel bad. Don't feel bad, man. Like, shit happens.
Yeah.
We all have life. Like I'm not even able to keep up with all my friends' podcasts. So, don't ever worry, and don't ever feel like bad about don't let that keep you from calling just because it's been a while or something like that. Right. So we appreciate it, and we appreciate the thanks for episode 300, and always good to hear from you. And by the way, yeah, God of War, if I'd actually thought of it, I probably would have double tapped that, but I'm not that far into the game yet, but so far it's been pretty fucking amazing. So
you're welcome.
Do any of you guys have PS4s?
Nah, man.
I have a 2.
Raven Shaw was like, "Can I play that on the Fire Stick?"
Yeah.
All right. Well, I was gonna say maybe I'll let you borrow it after, but no, never mind.
Okay.
And you're not borrowing my PS4.
Why
no.
can't I borrow it? Can I have it?
No.
Come on.
Yeah, when the 5 comes out, maybe he'll sell you.
Here is Urban Shadows, actually, on Amazon. So I'm adding that right now as well. So very cool. I'm going to have to...
That's cool.
Yeah, it looks good. So thanks for the recommend, Riku. I'm also putting that up on our Amazon shop. Once again, I'm going to have to remember this. It's amazon.com/shop/thedeadites.
That's where I go.
So put in all this stuff, all this awesome stuff that you guys have recommended. If it's available on Amazon, it'll be on that store. So thank you. And Leanna gave the proper spelling of black magic with it's black magic with a K at the end, CK. And Jesse G popped in. He says, "Was Gucci fam?" And he says, "You don't have to watch the movies."
You don't have to watch the movies. You don't have to.
All right, and we have one more voicemail.
One more.
And this is from Dynamo's illegitimate son, Pabst.
Oh.
Hey guys, it's Paps. Just calling in this week. Sadly, I was not able to check out Psychokinesis. Tried firing up the old Netflix today and was having a little bit of trouble with it. Couldn't get it to work. So sadly, did not get to watch that one, but I plan on watching it soon. I loved Train to Busan.
Yes.
So I am definitely looking forward to this one. But for my double tap for this week, two pieces of media that I've really been enjoying lately. Number one definitely goes to Shudder. Just recently got a subscription with that, and I've been loving it. I've been watching it almost nonstop. You know, when I do watch stuff. Just recently watched Argento's Phenomena, which I loved. I had a ton of fun watching that one. You know, the fact that she can talk to and control bugs, I thought was awesome. You know, I loved the inclusion of the chimp in it. Also, God, what's his name? Donald Pleasance, something. The guy who was the Doctor in Halloween. You know, it's great seeing him and other stuff, and just all around, you know, exactly what I was looking for that day when I watched it. God, I've watched a bunch of other stuff on there. Shrooms, which was fucking terrible. I just watched House today, which was it was pretty good. It was fun, you know. I really liked the effects in that. So Shudder is definitely a recent favorite of mine. The fact that it's only $5 and there's so many amazing movies on there.
It's worth
a ton of movies I can't wait to watch. Like Salem's Lot. I'm looking forward to watching Deathbed on there. But for my other piece of media, I just recently saw this band in Providence. They're what I think is one of the best modern, you know, kind of new recent death metal bands, and that is Blood Incantation. Specifically their new album, which came out either last year or the year before, called Starspawn. And it's just this real dissonant, spacey, you know, brand of death metal. They put on a hell of a show. They've got this real Lovecraft vibe to them that, you know, I feel like a lot of bands try and just completely fail with, but they just totally nail it. They're 100% on the mark. So I definitely recommend Starspawn. Jesus Christ. This is why I don't smoke before I do these. Starspawn by Blood Incantation. All right, guys. Have a good night. And peace.
All right, Paps. Thanks, buddy. Peace. So Blood Incantation and Shudder were his. And it was... it's awesome because I can actually add Shudder to our store. So... if you guys are not subscribed to Shudder, I definitely recommend it. It is it's a great service, and it's $5. They have a lot of really good stuff on there, and they have they curate it and add new stuff pretty frequently. And there's
it's so worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's all different categories there to choose from, and it's just a really cool app to have. I mean, and, I can't complain about it.
They do have Blood Incantation, so I'll add that as well.
Hey, they were playing last month. They were playing Repulsion, Roman Polanski's Repulsion.
Yeah,
which he's
now kicked out of the.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna watch that.
No, it's a great flick.
Yeah,
it's so good. Look, the guy sucks. The guy's a douchebag, but as a director, he's up there. He's pretty good. And Repulsion is really a great flick.
All right, I think that's it think we got through all the voicemail.
Cool.
And just double check. I don't think we had much going on with Twitter. We had, just people doing, the whole Follow Friday thing and tweeting out at us and stuff. So we appreciate the support from everyone. And also as a heads up, Patsy the Angry Nerd has his podcast, Throw It On Thursday, and they have their 100th episode coming up soon.
Wow, really, huh?
My moobs up on the screen, too.
Yeah, your moobs. Yeah.
How many likes have I gotten?
3.
From who?
And I think we're one of them.
That's good, man. That's 3's a good number. There's a lot you can do with 3. Triple threat.
Triple threat.
Menage a trois.
Oh boy.
Pretty good.
So Throw It On Thursday will be be recording episodes 99 and 100 on next
Thursday?
week.
Wow.
And
already.
So they got 100 coming up.
That came fast, huh? Damn.
No, if you do it every week, it's
No, but it just feels like it came a lot faster than.
Now, do they have more with like Zero and Halloween episodes?
No,
they should do that.
Yeah.
All right, well, we need to wind shit down. Holy shit, we went so long. I thought I was going to try and keep this around 3 hours. What happened?
Hours ago. If I'm going to get out early.
What the fuck happened?
Yep. Not jibber jabbering.
Yeah, a lot of jib jab. And obviously, probably the double tap. When we haven't done it in a while, so we'll get excited.
All right. Arrivederci, douchebags.
Arrivederci. Pass the Arrivederci on the right-hand side.
We're moving this along. Come on.
Who's moving along?
Oh, fuck.
The new producer's moving it along, Johnny. He's wearing a green shirt, too.
What?
Nothing.
You say your part, or Johnny
I
can...
don't have a part.
Oh, God damn it.
Say bye, Aries.
Why?
Fuck.
Please.
Okay, goodbye.
But
there was one more thing I wanted to talk about the movie.
No, you lost your chance. All right, Raven Shadow.
Live fast, love hard, die with your mask on.
All right, and as Mars might say, remember, children.
He already said it.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right, never mind. Remember, children. Mars already said it. All right, so thank you for tuning in for episode 302. Everyone who contributed feedback, everyone on the live show. MZ's got his fucking helicopter in full fucking transformation there. And I love hearing you guys' double tap, so thank you for sending those in. It's always awesome to hear what you guys are digging. Feel free to send in stuff if you're excited about something new out there. Just send it in any old time. You don't have to wait for a double tap. And also, everyone who's going to listen to this on the podcast, if you guys haven't, make sure to subscribe to us. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify, Stitcher Radio, Google Play, Satchel Podcast Player. And if you haven't yet, go ahead and give us a 5-star review, especially on Apple Podcasts. That's where it matters the most. So want to get the show in front of more ears. So if you want to, go do that. And also, like I said, if you guys want to check out any of the stuff that was talked about, our new Amazon shop, amazon.com/shop/thedeadites. I'll try to put a link on the Trick or Treat Radio page for that, just so it's right there. So that's going to do it. And we'll see you guys next week for episode 303. We're going to talk about revenge. And I guess, you know what? Tell us your favorite revenge film. How about that? That's our question for next week. We'll see you then.